from the
Here's
company
what's
that they
weird.
did.
Even if, see, a 120 hearing is important. Even if you're dead to right, they're dead to right, and you are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars behind. If you don't get that, they will reverse that motherfucker.
These people had all the money.
Okay. A rule, what? First of all, they should have cured. Why didn't they cure it? You can cure at any time. You don't have to wait for a Rule 120.
Here's what I can wonder. They've had an attorney too.
Jared Halpern, live on Capitol Hill.
What?
Minnesota's Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith will replace Franken.
Okay,
Governor
so
Dayton making that announcement today, a week after Franken said he would resign over
No, I mean, I
They
think
can go to the court and pull the file and see what the return of service looks like. Find out how they claim to have been served.
that's what I'm asking to get.
So anybody can go in and pull that and see that in a court file.
Okay, that's what I told them to
And I believe the way to
get
do that
or find if
by
it
being the
exists.
best
Yeah.
If it didn't exist, they weren't served.
Well, something got filed saying that they got proper service. The court would require them to do that. Now, they could say we served them by publication, we served them by handing it to the lady at the front door. I mean, they can say anything, and they're free to dispute that. But, you know, usually we call it gutter service, where the process server just tosses it out the door and signs the return saying we served them. You know, sometimes that
we've had so much, and then they get a default judgment. Oh my God!
I had a sheriff's department, they allowed us to throw it at the feet if they wouldn't take it.
Well, yeah,
It's amazing. They had to be inside the house.
Service by refusal, that's easy.
Yeah.
What kind of dog did you adopt?
I got a puppy.
You know,
Puppy needs a
These people have over $100,000 equity in the house.
well, we better look into it because they truly did not get notified.
Ford Explorer with a
I mean, that's serious shit.
third row seating.
But why didn't they make the payments if they were so...
They were being credited to the wrong account.
I know, and for months and months and months, I don't know about the
But they claim they have the money in the account to pay it. They had all the money.
January 2nd, 2018.
Well, it shouldn't be in arrears if they actually made the payments to the wrong account. You should just get, you know, an accounting fee.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking, but why did it go this far?
My heart doesn't sing as much as it used to when I crashed and burned my computer because everything truly is on the cloud, truly.
Yeah.
And even the App Store to reinstall stuff. But even my cell phone, I mean, I don't think I have anything locally that I would care about if I lost these. But I'm having trouble with this son of a bitch.
So if you crash a hard drive nowadays, it's not that big a deal. You can recover it all.
Oh shit, not one thing, nothing's wrong, nothing. Wow.
What is that, a PC or a Mac?
Well, you can recover stuff
This
else.
looks like I fucking broke my computer. I'm just thinking. I broke my computer. Oh, it's a Mac.
Well, there's people that do just that.
Yeah, that's what we have done. You can go right there.
I mean, I'm fucked up.
You reinstalled your...
Thank you, ma'am.
I would turn that switch off, like a hard turn off, and turn it back on to see if that connects it reboots itself.
Yeah, because this is fucked up, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be here. This is what happens when you set a Mac.
I know.
Give it to somebody.
I know. I don't want to be here. What the fuck is happening?
Back yourself out of here.
Do that
Go
upgrade
up here
that
and
you've been
close.
putting on.
You could have
Pay off that
just mistakenly hit
or just get ready for the holidays.
like
Purchase your next
Command
home with
8 or
the
No, I know. I did. I wanted to just clear my RAM, my programmable, not my program, my volatile RAM, because this program was not starting it, and I've done it before. But I wonder if I held it too long because
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just get out of it and reboot it again and see if it fires up. But I actually have
okay, it came up.
Find out how to save overall.
Well, what do you charge for that, John?
You know.
You get to keep
What do I charge you
Yeah,
for
what do you
that?
charge for that?
I'll send you an invoice.
I'm a Mac guy.
Have to.
Here's the problem with Mac, and you might know this.
Since 2001.
Because I've played
What's all
with
about
both
you
for
is not
years
just
and
our
years.
model, it's
Early
your
adopter
model.
of
The
everything.
respect you deserve.
With a
Affordable
PC,
interest mortgage.
you go to a drunk on the fucking street and say, hey, how do you do this, this, or this? The problem with Mac is they have so few problems that when they have a problem, they're really rare and people don't know. And I'm telling you, the store, the geniuses, they're not geniuses. A Mac is all about remove and replace. They don't do any troubleshooting at all. They don't give a shit.
And I will say, those guys know how to do shit within Max. They don't really want the normal users to know how to do it.
Okay, the program opened fine, so I did reset I did what I wanted. I might have held it too long. Okay, thank God.
Years ago, it's like you want to back out of that. Nothing good comes from that screen.
No, you saw that, and I was ready to go through it.
Right, I've been there.
I was talking to myself into not being nervous. I said, well, but truly, I do have everything on the cloud. It's still a pain in the ass to configure my monitor shit. But I have literally everything
Where's my check?
I had a hard drive crash.
He got me policy limits.
I got your wife policy.
You got me policy limits.
How much was that?
Shit. Those pricks had shitty policies.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe and the longest running show with the same host. I am so happy to be here, and I'm privileged, and I thank you for trusting me, truly. I was going through some old tapes the other night, and I just cannot believe I was just but a mere boy when I came here.
For those videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those. Those are pretty cool you put together.
In my 20s.
You had hair?
Yes. I still have hair. It's just thinning. You can see through my hair. It's thinning.
You must appreciate me more each day.
I've always had thin hair, Mark, but you know...
That's not true. You got to picture the one that's the clock.
It's still thin. It's just a lot of the thin hair.
Okay.
You know, age is inevitable, folks. It's how you approach it that counts. So how do you want to approach your old age? I'm Tom Martino, here to help you make your older age more secure. If you have a problem, a question, or complaint about anything, I want to help you. That's what I do. Isn't that a great thing? You know, when people ask me what I do for a living, it's kind of hard to say. It's hard. Yeah, I'm on radio. Okay, big deal, right? Radio.
You're a consumer advocate.
Yes, I used to be on TV, so I'm not on TV anymore. But, well, I'm on commercials and stuff. But I used to just say TV news, you know. But now I'm a consumer advocate. But here's the important thing: let's make it work for you. Because it's not me that makes this work. The only reason this works is because we all do it together. Truly, it's a town hall meeting. You know, that frustration you feel when you know somebody did you wrong, and they're just like, ha, ha, ha. You can talk to your neighbor about it, right? And it gives you some relief. But now when you talk to your neighbor, we are putting all those neighbors together. So if this jerk ripped you off, and rip somebody else off, we let everyone know. That's what we really do. We are just the expansion of talking over the backyard fence or a town hall meeting. We aggregate your voices together so we know. There used to be a famous thing that customer service used to say when you would call up and they didn't want to help you. Oh, we've never heard that problem before. That was famous in technology. Oh, we've never experienced that. Or with cars. They didn't want you to know this was a big problem. Now with the internet, they can't say, oh, we've not heard of that before, because if you go online, you'll see all the other people with the same complaint. Well, that's what we're doing. We're aggregating our voices together. We're putting them together and getting strength for it. So welcome, 303-713-TALK. That's what I do. Spread that word around, because the people who listen to this show do not get ripped off. They know better. The people who call me for help usually are not the ones that are listening every day. We have a guest today. John Fuller, Fuller Law. You know how we work with guests. They chime in on anything, but you can ask them specifics. He is a personal injury attorney. You may or may not have any personal injury questions. I mean, how coincidental would it be somebody's injured and they call? Well, if you are, call. But the point is, not for now, but just for general knowledge. What is personal injury? How do you help yourself? How do you prepare in the event something happens in the future? All that kind of stuff. And if you don't have specific questions, that's okay too. But we don't ever have a single topic show. But if you had to say one thing right now, one thing about personal injury, there were millions of people listening and they said to you, John Fuller, you have the podium. What is the one piece of information you would impart about personal injury law? What would it be?
You know, the most frustrating thing that we deal with, and it comes up
day after day
It must
after
be
day,
because you just came up with it like that.
is not having enough insurance to cover the damages that are done in these accidents.
Is that really the number one thing?
Yes.
Especially when it's cheap insurance like MedPay.
Well, yeah, MedPay is critically important, but so is protecting yourself with things like uninsured motorist coverage. I mean, you have to understand the state set the minimal limits in Colorado at only $25,000, and that may seem like enough money or a lot of money to some listeners. It's not. When you go to the ER and just walking through the front door and out the back seems to cost $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000, it doesn't take very long before you're way above the 25.
That's a really good tip. Get proper insurance, and uninsured motorists coverage is cheap. And you can get if you don't have collision coverage because your car's not that new, you can get uninsured property damage. That's kind of like collision coverage when somebody without insurance hits you.
Right.
Think about how wonderful that is. If you get hit by someone with no insurance, you don't have to have collision coverage. You can get uninsured motorist coverage for property damage because because uninsured motorist does not cover your car, it covers you for pain and suffering. And then you need MedPay for medical bills. MedPay.
That's where I screwed up.
That's a no questions asked coverage. And it's never subrogated against, and what I mean is, they may subrogate the other party. I'm saying they never come after you and they never raise your limits because of it, right?
Well, they don't have a right to get paid back, and they also don't have a right to go and collect against the other party. No.
They don't. They don't subrogate that. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Mark, you screwed up by not having MedPay.
So listen,
Why wouldn't you have MedPay?
I had 500,000. Then I had $1 million plus umbrella.
Yeah.
And what didn't I have?
Yeah.
MedPay. I have no idea why I didn't, but it ended up costing me probably. He got me max on our settlement
for your wife,
for Suzanne. But the problem was, if we had that MedPay, we would have seen another $20,000-$40,000.
Right.
And that coverage costs nothing.
No,
I don't even know why I didn't have it.
You have a personal experience with John Fuller. He did your case.
Oh, yeah. In fact, it's been, I got to tell you, one thing I did learn through this. This is the only real accident we've had, or personal injury accident. I had no idea the time frame. You realize that the other side, they made so many crap offers, and John just kept saying no, no, no. Finally, he gets his policy limits. But it takes, what's it been, about a year? Is that typical, John?
Year and a half, I think.
Just be patient.
Well, yeah, that's it. You be patient, and I got to tell you, there couldn't have been a better outcome.
Now, twice Mark said, I got to tell you, and I've been doing it, and Stephanie says, Tom, do not copy Mark because it irritates me. Okay.
Do you say folks?
No, I don't say that yet. But hold on. I have been saying I got to tell you, but I even heard her say it once. I got to tell you. So, you said it twice. Bzz, bzz. I'm going to remind you every time so we stop the habit. Okay, Liz is still having problems with Denver Auto Hail Repair. This is a massive problem, but I am amazed that they're not out of business.
Wait, I thought Deputy Dan knew something. Didn't we find out they might be going out of business or filing Chapter?
I want to give some background first. This company went out and did an excellent marketing job. These people did something magical because they were able to get more cars. There's nothing special about that location. They marketed in such a way that they probably had 8 to 10 times more customers than any shop around. And when they got into trouble, they started subcontracting other shops to do the work. Then they started offering rental cars because it was taking so long. Our calculation showed they were paying as much as, what was it? Was it $80,000 a week or a month? A month?
A month.
$80,000 a month in rentals plus subcontracting, and we said, wait a minute, how can they possibly stay in business? We were predicting their demise, but people gradually got their cars. Some of them. Others did not. And then TV picked up on it, usually as they always do, way behind us. And what happened, Dan? Did you find out anything new?
No, I think Liz has some.
Liz, what's happening?
Hello, good morning. Well, I got a call from Enterprise Rental Car back on November 29th saying that I currently have an outstanding balance with them due to the rental car.
Well, they were
Denver
supposed to be
Auto
paying them.
They were supposed to be paying. They did not.
Did you
And so
sign
now-
for it? Because you could be liable for that.
Well, that's what Enterprise is telling me.
How much
And
is it?
So, $3,600.
So they're not paying it.
So I went over.
What did they say? Just don't tell me the process you went over. I know you did. What did they say?
Who?
These people at Denver Hell. Did you go there and give them hell? Did you talk to them? What's going on?
I tried. They're gone. Their sign is
Oh
down.
no,
their
they
offices are
didn't.
empty.
Oh,
Boy, that was hard to predict.
No, they're gone. Oh no, they're gone.
Yeah, we had the owner on not even, a month ago saying how there's plenty of money, plenty of investors, blah, blah.
It had to happen. Oh, you're stuck. I mean, what can I tell you, Liz? You are...
Did she sign anything with Enterprise?
Did you?
Well, I signed the
agreement.
Normal rental agreement, and it says Denver Auto Hail will be paying.
Okay.
And
okay.
according to
but they're not
Enterprise-
paying. Now, hold on. Did it said bill to them? I mean, you did not take responsibility.
Correct.
Well, then you're not going to pay. But, Liz, I don't believe you. See, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I think you did take. I think if you read that contract where you signed, you are responsible. You're thinking because it says they're going to bill that place that you don't have to pay? Is that what you're thinking?
I am thinking that, well, my question is I'm wondering why my charges, my rental car charges, are not part of the bankruptcy proceedings.
What bankruptcy proceedings? Oh, why didn't they throw it into bankrupt? Because, Liz, here's what happens. Well, first of all, are they bankrupt? Are they in bankruptcy court?
I was told by Sean, who is the president, that Joel has declared personal and business bankruptcy.
Okay, hold on and we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. Oh, my goodness gracious.
That's something that maybe Brynan could help us with, too. I mean, that's a big bankruptcy. There's got to be assets there, man.
Yeah, but what are you going to show? You're going to try to show fraud? There's no fraud.
No, I'm not talking about just that rental thing. I'm saying there's probably insurance, there's probably assets. That's all I'm saying.
Century RV has opened up a big, giant showroom, 30,000 square feet in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue. Between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. That means you can shop no matter what the weather is, and even at night because they have a well-lit, big, giant showroom. They have new camper trailers under 10 grand. Make it a happy Merry Christmas. That's a family gift that you'll have fun with for years to come, and up to $50,000 off the big iron. You know, they have the big RVs, the little RVs, the camper trailers, whatever you need, they have the largest used car inventory or used RV inventory in the state. They're open, 8 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Remember, between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's, just north of 6th Avenue. Look for more information at CentryRV.com.
See, that's what we should have done, Mark. We should have shorted Denver Auto.
These guys are officers.
We should have shorted Denver Auto Hail.
Smart guys. I can't believe how many people balance billing for medical auto coverages. They don't have any idea what the numbers mean. Nothing. It's one of the most misunderstood.
I tell you, what these people here, I know Tom says no fraud. They knew they were going to go
Updates on your route. Download the new Total Traffic app powered by Car Box. The weather forecast.
Doctor
Partly sunny, a bit cooler today with a high
minimum
of 53.
limits, and his
Snow
daughter
likely with an overnight
somebody
low of
will
45. Right now, cloudy at 43.
I'm sorry,
They
lost everything.
6:30.
This hangar is flying their home.
American
No umbrella policy.
workers are
Minimum
at a
limits.
disadvantage under our current tax system.
Just, you know,
But tax reform
just-
can make us competitive again.
What do you suggest for
and more
umbrella?
jobs? Call Congressman
I don't even have an
Clyburn
umbrella.
and tell him
I
to
mean,
vote for
what?
real
But I
tax
don't.
reform.
I don't need an umbrella. I've got
What about
enough
personally,
insurance.
say someone come in your house and try to tell and decide to sue
I have
you?
enough insurance.
Depends on your assets.
I have enough insurance.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. I don't think an umbrella is necessarily the answer to everything in the world. For some people it is, okay? The bottom line is you've got to tailor your insurance to what your personal financial situation is. You know, I see people thinking, you know, when their kids start driving, that they need to get them the, you know, the lowest policy out there that they can. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why that makes sense to me.
This was a 16-year-old daughter.
I know.
Been driving for 2 days when she did this.
But I mean, I had a case. I had a case where a kid killed somebody. There was $100,000 on his policy, but Dad was a doctor back in Nashville that had $2 million umbrella. We were able to get that umbrella and apply it to this case, and that was the difference in, you know, between just.
On that one, say he only had $1 million.
I would have got it.
Okay, yeah, Gary. Hey, Gary. Mark,
See, there's not a big incentive for me to do that.
Well,
I mean, the stories like this doctor losing everything are few and far between, okay? You have to have a lot of free and clear assets to really be even a target of somebody doing that. Because most people don't.
Oh, because they got lots of 401k or retirement.
Well, they've got mortgages on their homes and stuff like that, so they're not liquid assets.
It always amazed me during my career how many attorneys came after me.
So folks,
suing me.
Kitchens, baths,
and I know that people didn't have a lot of money, so they're not.
As always, you have
I mean, I was driving out to when I was nationally syndicated out to LA, and this fucking attorney was attorney to the stars. He's grandstanding. I've never lost a case.
Hello, I'm Tom
and I got
Marchand.
attorney
Now,
fees
you've
on
heard
that
me
one,
talk a lot
because
about
you
stem
asshole,
cell
but
therapy. I've done extensive
I'm wondering why,
research,
because
which
they
led
have
me
to
to
know.
Centennial Schultz Clinic
Well,
right here in
at the
Colorado.
time,
They're internationally recognized.
I had
Their
money,
work
but I
with
didn't
stem
have
cells.
that. I mean,
They're all
I wasn't
MDs
Maxwell.
working with
You know what I
true
mean?
living stem cells,
And I'm
harvested
wondering,
from your own
did they
fat
do
and
any
bone
research?
marrow, then
Or they
strategically
hoping
delivered with
I
guided
heard, you
injections.
know, that's the
Only
thing, or at the
MDs
time, Clear
deliver
Channel.
the
Maybe
injection.
that's what it
More
was.
experience
But
than
although
any other
they were
provider
removed
in
from the
country.
case almost
Why would you
immediately
go
because
to
of my
a clinic with
indemnification
no
and all of
MDs
that.
at all?
You know,
I always wondered why they came after me like that. I mean, truly, this guy, they put in a lot of fucking time and energy. And we've had, there was a table full of attorneys sometimes in some of these cases.
Centennial Schultz at 303-963-9200. Explore your options at a true medical regenerative.
In my practice, okay, I almost start with collectability. I mean, I had a great case walk in the door the other day. Great liability, good damages, hospital, surgeries, all this stuff, okay? Within 2 days, I jumped the case, okay? No coverage. No coverage in a client that was openly intending to defraud an insurance company, which I'm out. Done. So he was trying to claim
Your
that
client,
yeah,
your potential client.
yes.
What did he want to claim?
He wanted to claim that, you know, when he sat down with me in my conference room, you know, do you live at home? Do you live with either one of your parents? And I'm trying to find some resident relative coverage that I can find. Nope, I live with my roommates in an apartment, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 days later, when we had no coverage, he's like, well, I live with my mom's. Can I use her policy? And I'm like,
You just said you did.
you didn't tell me that 2 days ago, but, you know.
So why would he leave that fact out? That doesn't seem important to me.
It was only important when he's trying to now claim that he lived at home and he could be under mom's policy.
Rocky's Autos, 63rd
And Federal. You know, just before the break, I talked about RVs. Now talking about other kinds of vehicles, new and used at Rocky's, 63rd and Federal, open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. The thing about Rocky's is the selection, not just in cars, but in financing. You know, you do have different lenders, and they do have different programs depending on your credit level. So if you want to truly take advantage of all aspects of the car business when buying used, you can choose lenders, choose the car, and then better trade value because they sell most of them right there. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. And they're gearing up for the holidays with a lot of buy-it-now prices. What I mean is they have regular prices listed, right? They're not offended if you make them an offer for right then and there. For people that are serious and want to go, really, they're good people. Go see them. You'll make some friends, make some deals, and they will never, ever cheat you. Rockies, 303-426-4646. Okay, well, we are investigating this thing with Denver Auto Hail Repair, but Liz, in a word, screwed. They, unless there was fraud involved, they're going to sail through bankruptcy, and this is truly bankruptcy. I don't understand what Joel thought he could do. It was an impossible situation. If you did the math, you knew he could not possibly stay in business. You knew it, you knew it, you knew it. And now, you're not the only one. There will be plenty of people who get stuck with rental car bills. The math didn't make sense. So you have to pay it. You see, just because they said they're going to pay it, they don't have a legal standing to go into bankruptcy court. What is in that contract that you could present to a trustee to make that trustee pay it out? Let's just assume there were assets. There probably are none. But a trustee looks at claims. What would he see in that contract that would obligate him to make that part of the bankruptcy?
It says bill to Denver Auto Hail Repair.
All right. What if I say bill to President Trump? What difference does that make if he didn't sign it? Oh, no, I'm serious, Liz.
Yeah.
You could put anybody, you could say bill to anyone. It doesn't mean it's going to work. I wish I had a way to help you, but bankruptcy, oh my God, this is terrible. You need to negotiate with Enterprise. I don't see a way out. I don't see a way out. Now, you may not have to pay the full $3 grand. I don't know. Are they insisting? Did you make an offer?
Well, one of their regional managers called me and apologized profusely.
For what?
For the situation I'm in, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever.
I don't know what there's no apology necessary, but we certainly have sympathy. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna take you to, we're gonna submit your name to collections if this doesn't get paid.
Of
and
course.
I'm like, you haven't even given me a bill. How can you mess with my credit already? But
yeah, well, if they haven't billed you, but it was due when you got there, right?
I suppose, yeah. And
all right.
So, what was the question? I'm looking here.
I don't think.
So.
I asked if you tried to negotiate.
Yeah, he said that they would try to work with us, but he didn't put anything in writing yet, so we'll see what they come back with.
Oh, man.
Just counting the final bill.
I wonder how many cars aren't finished.
This is a mess.
I saw one sitting in the lot when I went over there at the end of November.
There were so many cars, Mark, that were subcontracted out.
I know.
Those people might be fine. The work.
Oh, the subcontractors might be screwed here, too.
We had Joel's cell phone number. Isn't that his name, Joel? Let's try to call him. I'm sorry, Liz. I really am sorry. Hawk, what's happening with you? What's going on?
Just been trying to get through to you guys here for a while.
Hey, Hawk, is that a nickname that you had your entire life? Or just using it for the show?
I'll be 62, and I've had that for probably 55 years.
Okay, 62, young man. What's going on? You have a balanced bill with a medical bill. And for those listening, and I hope this is what you're talking about, balanced billing usually means a provider agreed to take what insurance pays, but then bills you the difference and tries to go around the discount he offered to the insurance company. Now, in some cases, it's not balanced billing because they never agreed to take a lesser amount. The insurance company sent them a lesser amount, and then they go ahead and bill you, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I need to know the situation.
All right, double cataract surgery, October and November.
Oh, I hope you had the clear lens put in where you could see both near and far.
I have, I can read through my left eye and see far through my right eye.
See,
together it works great.
Oh, man, I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to. For those listening, don't ever do the monovision. You don't have to. He's talking about one eye's close, one eye's far. That's fine. You'll adjust to it, but it's not new. Icon does clear lens. I mean, literally clear lens, which is normal, but the lens will focus both near and far. So you would be able to see like you were not 62, but 22. In any case, you're not calling about that, but I wanted to let people know if you're going to go through the pain, and it's not that much pain, but you're going to go through the hassle of cataract surgery, at least make it so you have bionic eyes and you never need glasses again. And I have readers that I use, and I'm telling you, I hardly use them. I use them for tiny, tiny, tiny little print. You know, so what is happening then? That you went in and your total bill, as I see here, it's pretty cheap actually. What is this just the balance they're trying to get from you? This $2,000 basically?
Yeah, this is the balance from the anesthesiologist.
Right. Okay. So he is saying that insurance is only paying $900 and something, right?
The insurance actually sent payments to the anesthesiologist for $146 on one of them and $131 on the other surgery.
That's it? 146 and 131?
And customer responsibility is $843 and $858.
Okay, so where did you get the term balance billing?
There was actually on Channel 9 News. I saw just the end of a story about that, so I started doing some research.
And what did you find?
The Colorado State Legislature had passed a law requiring patients be held harmless if they seek care at an in-network facility, which I had done and had approved, and they receive care from an out-of-network provider working in the facility, that the patient shall be rendered harmless of outstanding bills.
So, okay, you're talking about a different situation because that is weird, where you go into an approved facility, but the guy in there is not in your network. Is that what the case is?
Yeah, the surgeon, the doctor, all of that was, and where this law was put in place,
okay, everyone was part of it except the anesthesiologist?
That is correct.
Then why did they pay anything?
That was what it says, if you continue reading the research on that, is that out-of-network, since my deductible and out-of-pocket had been met, they get a customary
80/20,
basically a Medicaid payment, and they're saying that it can't truly be held patient responsible for because the patient with some of the ancillary personnel, such as, and it even gives the two examples.
Okay, we don't have to get into the minutiae. Listen, Hawk, we don't need all this. I understand you and I believe you. So in this particular case, the law basically addresses those who go to an in-network facility and one of the docs happens to be out of network. You know, I brought this up once thinking, how unfair is that if a patient goes to an in-network, not only in-network facility, but an in-network doctor, and he schedules an in-network surgery, and then an out-of-network anesthesiologist shows up. I mean, how do you know?
Absolutely.
That's weird. I mean, how do you know? You can make the argument, I'll bet you there's someone who's in network that could do it. So we're going to talk about that coming up, because I truly believe that you have a case. And speaking of cases, we have personal injury attorney with us, John Fuller, Fuller Law. I hope you never need him. And I hope you never need Joe Lazzara. He does criminal defense. But this year, as we approach the holidays, I warn people, do not drink and drive. I mean, not just for the holidays, but anytime. You can use Uber or Lyft or anything. And we're not telling you about Joe Lazzara to get you, to encourage drinking and driving, of course. But I'm going to tell you something. I just said I'm going to tell you something. It's kind of.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell. When you are accused of a DUI, you're not always guilty. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you made a mistake. Okay, you tried to calculate and you were wrong. Sometimes you were just stupid. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to pass judgment. He just represents you. Whether you're guilty, innocent, stupid, or made an innocent, harmless error, you didn't realize what you were doing, Joe Lazzara, you need an attorney to get through the system. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. DUI, think Joe Lazzara. If you are ever accused of another crime, you can find him as well on referralist.com. 303-429-6200.
I think Mark, part of your
he was talking about how long it was taking for that settlement. About a year and a half. That's where the insurance company, because I work for, they'll pay much quicker. And so many people need that instant gratification to be paid right away for less if they walk right past the money they could get.
Well, then to me that's a bad attorney, not.
Well, no, it's not the attorney. They just don't get an attorney. They need that money now. They want it now.
Well, then they're stupid.
Oh, they are, but how many of them do that?
Well, A, in your scenario, they didn't have an attorney, so they're getting okey-doked.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they need that instant gratification, so they're getting okey-doked. I mean, how do you fix stupid?
Well,
But you're probably right. A lot of people need that money, right?
I mean, listen, here's the biggest thing that I see out there, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. When they hear the words, "we accept full responsibility for the accident," they think that's an agreement to pay for everything that's going to follow, and that there's not going to be any roadblocks into getting a settlement down the road. I mean, they tell them that on purpose. They tell them,
they're not very sophisticated.
what did you say to the bottle?
You will make it. It's working.
Like Tom's talking to a bottle.
But I was listening, and I use that in some of our spots.
And I think that's a really effective point with people, because they tell me all the time, I don't really want to get an attorney. They said they're going to cover everything. Why do I need an attorney? And then they bring it up.
They're going to get more.
Then they start not returning phone calls. They start harassing them, or they call them every other day. You know, it's just a complete fallacy to think that this, you know, total adversary, you know, answering to a different, you know.
Well, because a fender bender pretty well is, well, I'm not going to say that because I've had to deal with 5-2. I don't know if USA is a culture there. But, you know,
you heard about,
or whatever, you know, try to subrogate.
You heard about the FBI agent.
But, you know, the fender benders, I think they're injured.
Oh, did you see the texts? They're incredible.
And you know how the president of the
And
United States.
about Hillary.
What, they love it? There's a lot of like Hillary.
Oh yeah, those same texts back and forth were like, we've got to get Hillary to win this. Remember, this was before the election. There's a chance this idiot could actually win. He was the same one that was investigating Hillary over the fucking email scandal. They are so fucking corrupt.
But people realize it, though. Do they realize? I mean, you don't hear about it on CNN.
But what they're saying is, hey, he was fired. People are going to wipe their hands on him.
He was taken off the team.
Yeah.
He wasn't fired, I don't think.
Well, taken
off that case.
Is he a government lawyer, or is he just
people know they can loan the guy, guaranteed.
He's an FBI. The other guy's a special prosecutor.
Oh, okay, I thought the special prosecutor was
They're going to get paid.
Oh.
So they get
not the special prosecutor,
the last thing
not
they want
Mueller.
to do is waste
I thought a guy, a
money
lawyer that worked for Mueller on the
insurance
special
than they
prosecutor.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I thought it was an FBI guy.
Very good at being
It was one of the, I thought it was one of the FBI guys. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
and
FBI
it gives
guy.
people a comfort level that if they're that nice to
I thought it was one of the lawyers that he had hired.
This does look kind of
They
fake.
don't. I mean,
What does,
I've
Mark?
never had USAA tell me,
This,
John, you know, you really ought to think about having this coverage or that coverage.
What is going on with it?
We'll not do those
They're basically,
They
it looks like a forged document. They're saying an intern, but it wasn't an intern. She said she didn't do it.
You may want to think
Said
about
that
this.
he
They
sexually
don't ever put
harassed
the
her.
customer first, and none of these insurance companies do, like MedPay.
Yeah, a little fake news to them.
We
Who
don't
gives
have
a
any
shit?
insurance
Fuck them all. They
company
do
out
is
there
fake
telling
news.
people, this is really,
Watch
really
your language,
important.
Dan.
Because they hate it. They don't get paid back. They, you know,
You
it's
see
not
that
much
thing
money to
Suzanne
them.
said on the flu? That's
Told
not
them they had to
What
sell
is
this
it?
coverage. They didn't do
Apparently,
it because it was,
the whole building's got
you
the
know,
fucking
their
flu.
Well, I got the flu shot. I hope that helps.
Oh, I got the flu shot, too.
I mean, she almost won't write it with me. You know, she,
oh, that's smart.
Still, I mean, got it.
You should. And I don't think any independent agent, I think you damn near should be sued for malpractice if you let anybody write it without.
Yeah.
But
You
I
know,
had
that thing
farmers
yesterday
agents
went
telling
like
me
this,
about
and I
it.
really
Father
thought
of
the
a
election was
volleyball
coming back.
she has
It actually
very
finished very close.
turned down.
Did he ever,
There's a write-ins at the end of it.
That's a
Yeah,
state law.
the write-ins, he would have won.
At least in MedPay, it's a state law.
The child molester. I thought it was going to be so funny if the child molester could beat a Democrat. Boy, does that just say everything.
But
Well,
They,
and he was flawed no matter what, even
the
before
guy
he
Oh,
told me,
fucking
John,
Trump
at
didn't
today's
like it.
age,
Remember, Trump wanted the other
things
guy.
revolve. You know, he used to have
No, Trump backed the other guy in the primary. Trump did not like this guy at all.
You used to go to your
He's like part of the Tea Party type.
You had that guy for life. And,
Which
you
is
know,
not a problem, but it is.
It is when it comes to some shit.
forever.
What do you mean not a problem?
Today, people buy
They're the
stuff
ones that
online, and
hung
they
up
don't get
getting
any
rid of
advice.
Obamacare and shit.
You know, nobody's looking.
They might be the ones that hang up
Saying, this is
tax
what we
reform,
need
saying,
to
hey,
do.
we don't want to add to the deficit.
This is how to craft the
Those
policy.
aren't my...
Hello, Tom Martino here. Okay, our go-to experts for health insurance, John Jones. But first, you need to know that I have some questions about personal injury that are really, really telling. They're really good because, well, not questions, but issues. Because so many people think they have it made when an insurance company says, don't worry, we'll take full responsibility. You have to hear what that really means. They do that on purpose sometimes, and we'll talk about that coming up. John Jones is our go-to expert at Integra Insurance.
Good morning, Tom.
And he deals with health insurance issues for us, and we use him, of course, to go and get our health coverages, because no one should do it on their own. It's crazy, and you don't pay you don't pay more going through a broker. Let's talk to Hawk, who called in. Now, Hawk, you said there's a bill or there's a law in Colorado. Could you, for the heck of it, so I could look it up, can you cite the bill just quickly, the CRS?
Yeah, CRS is 10-16-704.
Okay. Now, you said that there is a law that prohibits out-of-network people from billing the patients when the patient goes to an in-network place. Let me give you the scenario, John. Hawk went to a doctor who was in-network. He scheduled a surgery and had it approved in-network. He went to a facility that was in-network. But the anesthesiologist was out-of-network. The insurance paid what would be equivalent to the Medicaid payment, base pay. Now the anesthesiologist is balance billing Hawk. Hawk claims that's against the law, according to Colorado state law. I don't know if you're familiar with the law or not, but are you familiar with this kind of situation where everyone's in network except one provider?
Yes, sir, I am.
What do you do about that?
What Hawk cited is correct. It is a Colorado statute.
Okay.
But that's the wrong statute number from what...
And basically, you know, real quick, Tom, with the eyesight problem, Dave, what's the correct statute number?
It's Colorado Insurance Law, Section 10-16-705.
Okay. Dave, the numbers aren't as important as the substance as you guys understand it. Could you tell us, can that anesthesiologist get more money from this guy?
Everything, if he's in an in-network facility, every person that works on him in that network facility has to be treated as in-network.
So, his insurance has to pay?
Very much so.
Why did they not pay?
He's going to have to either do like he's been doing, go to the Division of Insurance, or if he'd like to call us, we'll find out exactly who his insurance carrier is.
United Healthcare.
Okay. Then he should contact United Healthcare, talk to their billing or their claims department, let them know this particular statute, and say this should have been handled as in-network. Because it should. Yes. He didn't have any choice with that anesthesia.
You're right. Now, Hawk, have you done that? Did you try to get payment? Now, Hawk's thinking, hey, I shouldn't have to worry about this. The guy is not allowed to bill me. And that's true, too. Even if United Healthcare gives him the deaf ear, isn't that true that the anesthesiologist can't bill?
But did United pay the anesthesiologist anything?
Yes.
Okay,
a minimum.
Paid him what United said was an in-network, whatever the allowance was for him to be inside that network.
So it's up to the provider to know what he's going to get paid based on who he's working on?
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Now, if I was Hawk, I think I'd call that anesthesiologist's office.
Hawk, do you have any specific questions here?
Well, if you read some of the further down in that bill, it says that the Colorado State Legislature has also failed to put any restrictions against out-of-network providers from going as far as garnishment, credit reporting, up to and including leaning of a person's property.
Are you saying the law did address that or did not?
Did not.
Have not.
Oh. So what are these guys, what is this anesthesiologist doing?
I received the first two pages.
I mean, other than the bills, what is he doing?
Absolutely, nothing. I received my first actual bill from the anesthesiologist about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, you're going to use this law so you don't have to pay. But, John, aren't people responsible for balances, though, even if they use in-network? I mean, let's say you didn't reach your deductible, you got to pay something, or isn't it 80-20 after you reach your deductible on most of these plans?
A lot of them could be 70-30, 60.
Okay.
Well, Hawk, if you reached your deductible, is everything satisfied with your deductible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you need to use this bill. Now, Integra Insurance, they'll help you out, but you really have to go to both the anesthesiologist and United. Did you tell the anesthesiologist's office, did you tell them your thought on this?
No, I have not. Like I said, I just received that bill a few weeks ago. I saw the beginning of my investigation start on this about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't. Okay,
you need to. Okay, if you were calling us for reassurance, and we got it from an authority at Integra Insurance, you're on solid ground to keep going with your premise.
Okay, who would I call first, the anesthesiologist or my insurance?
I would, John. That's a good one. Who would you call first, John?
Well, before he calls the anesthesiologist, I think I'd call the Division of Insurance first.
And do what?
Do you understand that statute correctly with what he's saying about the, about the liens and everything?
Sure.
At the back, and make sure he's got that. Then I'd call the anesthesiologist first.
Yeah, and then put them on notice.
With United.
I would call the anesthesiologist and say, according to state law such and such, I am not to be billed the balance because you were working in an in-network facility. However, I will contact my insurance and attempt to get you paid. I would do both of those things. We have to move on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller, Fuller Law, will be talking about what happens when an insurance company says, hey, we got it covered. We are going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. We take full responsibility. First, a word from Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. A lot of people like to have packages that they can trust. What I mean by that is they want to know what they're going to spend. At Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, the only amount you will be obligated to pay is $89 plus parts for any problem, or it's free. So you may think, well, wait a minute, what does that mean? Here's what it is. It's to give you comfort that no job in that car will be more than $89 in labor plus whatever parts there are. And if it's a major problem that they could not possibly do for $89, they will give you a full written diagnostic free of charge. So it's find, fix, or free. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. They do standard and manual and automatic transmissions, classic cars, old cars, new cars, whatever you need. 303-781-9858. Not just transmissions, but they work on the entire car as well. Budget A1 just south of Dartmouth on Santa Fe. 303-781-9858.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic.
Oh man, I'm trained. He's the one that trusts.
In case you were clear.
I don't know why I am having an urge for bad things like Dunkin' Donuts.
That's not even, I guess they're okay.
And I usually don't like them, but
I'm probably going to end up out a little early.
But where's your Pepsi or Diet Coke or whatever you have?
they ruined it. When they changed a new great taste, it is. I'd probably cut down what? Half at least or more.
I thought you liked it more though.
No. They ruined it.
The tax reform to make us competitive again.
They screwed. They did something to it, and it really is different.
And tell him to vote for
Not in a good way.
Hey.
We all want clean carpets for the holidays.
All right, bye.
Do something kind for our fellow man.
I'm diabetic. My endocrinologist says that substitutes are worse than the sugar.
Oh, you know what? That's bullshit, okay? I'm just going to call bullshit on that, and I will prove it, and I'll put money.
What is it?
They're not great for you. Nothing's fucking great for you that's a chemical. Artificial sweeteners are worse than sugar. That's fucking just wrong. It's flat out worse wrong.
Well,
and they're not just like sugar. They're better than sugar.
Wait. They're worse than corn syrup.
Oh, corn syrup's worse than sugar.
They're not fucking. It doesn't matter if it's corn syrup or a potato or a fucking piece of sugar. They're all exactly the same.
Yeah, but aspartame is way worse for you.
Glucose. Oh yeah, it is bad for you. Glucose. It really is. Damn. It's really. And so is Splenda. I mean, they're really not good for you. I'm not going to argue that. But glucose, fructose, sucrose, they're all the fucking same. They're the same. And people think guava, agave, and all this other shit is good for you.
Well,
honey is bullshit. Raw sugar is bullshit. It's all bullshit. It has the same negative effect on your body. Honest to God, Clint, there's nothing more adamant than that. But sugar is sugar. A potato, a bowl of pasta is exactly the same as eating a bowl of white pasta.
Not pure sugar cane. That's not bad for you. That's
he's full of shit.
Well, that's what you're recommending, cane sugar.
He's not sugar. It's the same thing. They're fucking morons. They're morons. Okay? I'm telling you, if you want to be healthy,
Corn syrup is more toxic than refined sugar. It's just right here on the internet.
And here's what's really great. I can prove it by we can do blood monitoring. I love when people do that. They say, oh, this won't do this or this. It'll raise your fucking sugar and spike your insulin so fast. The only difference among sugars is how slowly or fast they call. But it's still fucking poison.
But rice isn't bad for you.
Oh, shut up. It's still fucking poison. It's poison. And I was just talking about my donut. But I'm not claiming to be a saint. I mean, but I'm telling. Oh God,
I think the point he was making is if you have to have sugar, that you can find cane sugar and stuff nowadays.
Bullshit! It's exactly the same. It doesn't fucking matter if you fucking chew on the sugar plant or process it to white sugar. It's still exactly the same. There's not one bit of difference in your body. Not one bit of difference. I'm telling you. Fuck you. It's all the same. When people tell me that, it drives me fucking crazy. Brown sugar and honey and agave and this and that. It's all exactly the same. Here's another thing that fucking drives me mad because it has zero health effect. And actually, it's not more unhealthy. It's not as healthy as the whole egg. This fucking egg white thing. They think by taking away the yolk, they're somehow healthier.
Well,
that egg is a perfect balance of nutrition. It's probably the most perfect food on the planet.
Isn't the yolk run up if you have high cholesterol?
No, you don't get cholesterol by eating cholesterol. Increasing cholesterol. You cannot increase your cholesterol by eating cholesterol. Can't do it. By the way, it doesn't matter because cholesterol doesn't fucking affect your health. It's all bullshit too. It doesn't fucking affect your health at all.
I've always had actually low cholesterol, and they tell me that that's not good either.
Well, cholesterol doesn't matter except when it's low. It's bad to have low cholesterol. Having high cholesterol doesn't make a fucking bit of difference. Not one bit.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. John Fuller, the insurance company says to someone, don't worry, we got it covered. We'll take full responsibility. People get into more trouble that way than when they have to fight, because then they're ready for a fight. What is that all about? You've seen it in your practice.
Oh, sure.
Why?
Here's the bottom line. The insurance companies don't like people to run out and become represented by attorneys.
Of course.
They know that they're going to end up paying, more money, or at least closer to the fair value of the case.
Most every single time.
Everybody knows
Unless you
that.
use someone like the corpse, the living, moving corpse. What is his name? Mark?
Everybody should know that that's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay? However, when the insurance company says to somebody, we accept full liability for the accident, our insured was absolutely at fault for the accident, and we're going to cover everything, people mistakenly believe that to mean that there's nothing else to fight about,
right.
that they're done.
And it's wrong because here's the thing, people think, okay, everything is covered, and then sometimes it's too late to get representation.
Well, that's true. I mean, there is a point of no return, and sometimes people, I've literally had people come into my office, Tom, that did not realize that they settled their case with the insurance company. They thought that the insurance company just sent them an interim payment or something like that, but it very clearly stated that it was a full and final settlement, and they didn't even know.
So this is a complete adversarial environment, and them accepting liability is something that they have to do under the insurance regulations, and it has more to do with the property damage than it does the settlement of their personal injury case.
Can they trick someone in? Can the other insurance company trick them into settling over the phone just because they're recording the conversation?
They do it all the time.
I mean, literally the settlement.
No, Mark. They do even worse than that. They make you. They'll say, well, if you had a little more time, or do you think you could have avoided it?
That's not what I mean, though. What I mean is, can they say, hey, we're going to send you $5,000. You agree to it, and it's done. You haven't signed anything. It was all verbal, all over the phone.
I don't think they can use that conversation, because they can always say, once I thought about it, I changed my mind, right?
Yeah, that would be
but it's still better.
Situation.
Still better not to talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of practice, unless liability is seriously in dispute, I don't let my clients talk to the other insurance company at all.
How about after a settlement? Let's say it's policy limits. You think you deserve more, but of course it's policy limits, so you agree to that. After the fact, can you show up at the outlet malls and shake the guy down for more money?
No, Mark, do not go to
Why the outlet mall? Is that where he works?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, listen, I want to say something. You should never talk to the other insurance company ever without either your attorney present or they submit questions in writing. Their sole purpose on the phone is not to clarify, not to get you paid. It's to screw you up. It's to mess with you. It's to find conflict. It's to find a hole in your story, right?
True.
Now, even your own insurance company, if they are stepping in the shoes of the adversary, meaning you're going to use your uninsured motorist coverage for pain and suffering, in that case, I have found that insurance companies will try to screw you up, even your own.
Well, and interestingly enough, that's the only circumstance when you're dealing with your own company in a UM context, which means, and you're using your uninsured motorist context to basically provide coverage for the person that didn't have enough insurance.
Right, that's right.
In that environment, they actually have a statutory duty to not put their interest ahead of their insured, which means at that point it's at least a 50-50 environment. That doesn't mean it's 51-49. It never goes to proactively in your favor.
John Fuller Law. Now Debbie. Debbie, what's happening?
Hi.
Hi, Debbie.
I'm trying to get somewhere with my roofing company from when we had the hailstorm in May, and they did some of the work.
Now, you hired a roofer already, and I assume you didn't get it at the referral list at referrallist.com, so you hired a roofer. Did you pay up front?
I paid some, but not everything.
Okay, how much?
$6,000.
Before work even began?
Yes.
Okay, that's another mistake. So, how much is due?
Actually, they haven't given me the final bill.
Wait a minute. What did your contract say was the total price?
They have only gone by what the
Debbie, you did every mistake in the book. Every single mistake you can do, you did. You hired somebody you didn't know, you paid $6,000 up front, and you let them tell you whatever the insurance company does. So you don't even know if you're getting what you need. They just said they'll do whatever the insurance company says. That's the worst. First of all, in Colorado, it's required by law that you get a written full contract with details, scope of work and materials and pricing. That's to protect you. But you went ahead and probably waived that right. So we're going to have a tough time fighting these guys. So they said whatever the insurance company pays. So your contract, did you sign something?
Yes. It looks like I did.
And I'll bet you it says you're responsible for payment, which means if the insurance company is not to their liking, I'm just telling you this not to give you a hard time, Debbie. I want to ultimately help you if you hold on. But I'm telling you the dangers. They can come back and say, you owe us. And by that contract, you probably do. So hold on. Get the name of the roofing company off the air. Let's have Deputy Clint give them a call. And Debbie, we'll come back to you and more. Stick around on the Troubleshooter Network.
I'm going to go,
what are you doing, bro?
My accountant's having a little lunch thing for some of his big clients. I'm going to try to sign a few of them up, but he's been bugging me to get down there. It's his Christmas party.
Okay.
But it's a Christmas lunch party. Probably in about 10 minutes. He literally just asked me. I said, I'm on the air. He goes, well, is there any way?
Speaking of lunch. He calls me up last night, wants to bet about Ray Moore.
Right.
And I said, well, I said, okay, I'll do it to make it interesting.
Man, they're coming up with some funny shit against old Bannon and stuff this morning.
I said, I win either way. Moore wins, okay, that's good.
Well, here's the deal. First of all, in that bet, we have an attorney here. No, literally, we have an attorney here. So this is a text back and forth, John. Hold on, no, seriously, watch. I just want to show you guys something.
Listening him there to see if he deleted text.
Part of the terms, hold on, part of the terms, hold on. That is contractual, hold on, just asked me, hold on.
And even the horse voted.
Wait, hold on.
He found out that Sassy, the horse he rode in on, also voted.
John Sassy, hold on.
I intensely dislike that guy.
Who?
And I'm as conservative as they come. And
Roy Moore?
Yes.
Right there. Very first thing. I put, lunch place is my choice. That's me to him. Is that about as simple as it gets?
Oh, okay, and that's
my
what I said.
choice.
So lunch place
is my choice.
And I say, yes, we're going to a lunch
That's
place.
right, and I will choose
no,
the place.
Your choice is
No, I will
a
choose
lunch
the
place.
In other words, if I win, I choose a place.
No,
if I lose,
that's not what I did.
choose a place.
That's not how
I choose a
interpret it.
place.
And because it's a little
It was not ambiguous. It was not ambiguous.
It's the person who made the contract made it ambiguous.
It wasn't ambiguous. Not one part of that was ambiguous. In fact, I even later down pointed out again that, hey, I picked the place and you didn't answer.
No, lunch place, I agree.
So I'm picking the place.
A lunch place.
I am picking the things like, and I choose Elway or lunch.
That's where.
Well, because I lost, I would never choose Elway's.
I'm sure.
But I can't believe your guy won. He actually wanted, he wanted the Democrat to win.
No, I didn't. No,
You bet on him to win.
I know, but what did I say though? What did I tell you?
You said, that's my guy.
I said, either way I win.
And how did the Republican lose? Let's see. Child molester, that probably didn't help him. He rode a fucking horse to go vote.
Which he's done before.
Which was weird looking. He almost ran over some
He
reporters.
looks like a goofball with his hat too high on his head.
He looked like
something really just odd about that.
And he realized he still hasn't conceded yet. He's still like,
oh no, he wants a recount. He's like,
oh really?
Yeah, they're not conceding shit. Which really shows him just a terrible lack of class.
and Trump did not like it. Trump actually backed
I know.
his the guy that ran against him in the primary.
The guy that was appointed to finish out that term.
Okay, so here's another thing. So he says lunch place is my choice. So he brings back down here, he says tomahawk steaks that he wants. So that implies you want to go to a lunch place that serves tomahawk
ambiguous.
steaks.
That is the definition of ambiguous.
And that's because it's your contract.
No, that's not a contract. That's a text back and forth. There's no contract here. It's an agreement.
And with ambiguity, we're going to interpret that against the writer.
And he wrote it.
And so what I told him I wanted after it was going is double tomahawk steaks with a side of lobster.
That's 700 at Dell's. That's what I got last year at the Christmas party. That's what I ordered was a tomahawk.
What is a tomahawk?
It's a bone-in ribeye. Okay. It's a bone-in ribeye. Did you get the tomahawk last year? I thought you got that too. It's a bone-in ribeye that's probably, it's maybe, what, 32, 36 ounces. It's a big boy. But it's not like,
it's a big boy.
Yeah.
Big caveman portion, you know.
It is. But Suzanne eats a big part of mine.
Right.
But they're like usually 90 to 100, where the bone-in ribeye is 60 to 70. But really, if you weigh them, it's the same. You're just getting more steak.
Right.
You didn't get that.
I want to strike a deal with Ruth Chris. I'm going to try to strike a deal with them. We need a whole restaurant thing.
Whatever happened?
I don't know. I haven't heard back from him. Is he still on? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he is.
I don't know. But the nice part is this new site actually has a lot of that built in right here.
I always call him the sheep. What's his first name? Right?
I don't remember.
Are you a U.S. veteran?
Greg.
Greg. You both said it at the same time.
You missed what I said. It's the big boy. Where was that from?
Bob's Big Boy?
No, it's the big boy. Yep, it's the big boy.
What happened to the KOA morning guy that
talking?
got canned after the
It's the big boy. It's the big boy. Say it like whoever said it.
Really?
He was saying it to Newman.
And his girlfriend was totally
right.
See, I can't even, I really did win that.
Did they charge him that?
Yes, they dropped. They went right to
What is it?
right to the end of the party.
Drake's coffee.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't trust her to testify.
Because they had a snack size.
They literally were
and he was open and they were going to tell him, remember? The guy was
literally
gonna
jury selection.
Yeah. Did you ever watch
That's what you have to do in those situations.
There's your real estate.
You know, his demise from his radio station was actually, if you think about what's going on right now with all the sexual harassment.
They go to White Castle
kind
in
of
one movie.
the beginning,
And then the other one,
these companies just
Coomer
have no tolerance for anything. And they, there's no presumption
So,
of innocence.
they get
You're
sent
guilty
to
as charged, and we've got to get rid of you right away.
Because they think they're
Destroy a
terrorists.
guy's
They're smoking a
career
bong.
for a bullshit allegation.
He's got this weird bong he puts together in the bathroom on the airline. But it looks like a bomb, not a bong. And the other guy keeps going, no, it's just a bomb. But they keep hearing bomb. So they think they're terrorists because he's also Pakistani or whatever. So they throw their ass in.
Most of
Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, they were stupid in other words. They're talking to two terrorists in the next cell. And one of the guards comes, Big Bob. So Big Bob is a huge fat guy. He's one of the guards. And the guys in the next cell are like, oh, you get Big Bob today. And they're like, what's wrong with that? All right. He makes you eat his cock meat sandwich.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by The Art of Granite. If you need granite for your kitchen counters or any kind of counter material, The Art of Granite is the place to go. I love Mitch Floria's story, an immigrant from Romania. Literally, just a few bucks in his pocket, gets a job and learns the granite industry, then expands into cabinets. Art of Granite's in Golden. What I love about this company, do you know how hard it is to get prices from people? They want to come to your home and they want to sit down and they want to convince you. I always say that's what they want to do. We see a company like Art of Granite. You give them some measurements and a photo, they'll give you a price range, a very, very close price. Yeah, they'll do it right on the phone. They just say, listen, if you like it, then come on out to Golden, pick specifics, and then we give you the rock bottom or rock solid price, and then the job will be done in 1 to 4 weeks. It's that simple. Call them and get it started. You'll get a price. And they have no markup on the granite and or any counter material. You can use his wholesale account to buy from him or anywhere. And then they have a small markup direct from the manufacturer on cabinets. So if you want to do your kitchen, Art of Granite. I love the place. 7 days a week, yes, serving metro and mountain communities. 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. So Debbie wants to handle a roofer, and Debbie, I hope you understand, when people call, I use them as foils to inform my audience, not to give you a hard time. I want to help you, but the issue was you found a roofer, gave him $6 grand, you don't really have a contract with a price and scope of work and all of that. It's kind of hazy because, hey, not everyone does a roof weekly or monthly, so it's not something we're used to. Now, for those listening, what you should do first, before you do anything, when you have a roof damage, don't call your insurance company first ever, because it counts as a claim even if you turn out not to put it in. They count how many times you call and try to submit a claim, and it counts against you on their scoring. So here's what you do. You call a trusted roofer from the referral list, and you have them come out and look at your roof. So let's say Excel Roofing, Jay Bretz comes out, and they'll look at the roof. And there should be nothing signed ever when they're looking. They don't need authorization. They don't need permission. Once they look at your roof, you demand that they tell you exactly what's wrong and spell it out. Why? Because the worst thing is when they say, we'll do whatever your insurance wants. Because insurance doesn't always want what you need. So insurance can say to the roofer, we're not going to pay for this, 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 and this. Just do this. And the roofer wants to get paid, so he says, fine. So you'll never know what was missing. If you get a roofer to tell you and to commit to what you need, then the adjuster comes out and says, oh, we're going to do A, B, and C. But on your estimate, you have A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G. So now you know how to fight. You say, well, wait a minute, what about this, this, and this? And the adjuster says, oh, yeah, you're right, we'll do this and this. Or you have the roofer with you after the adjuster makes his assessment. That's what I'm saying. Always go to a roofer first. Make them put in a contract. If they put on their contract, we'll do whatever insurance wants, walk away from them. If they put on their contract for insurance proceeds, walk away. You want a price and you want a scope of work so you can compare what they're telling you to what the adjuster says. The lazy roofers say, oh, whatever the adjuster says. That's not what you want. I'll bet you John Fuller would never do that with personal injury. Oh, I'll take a third of whatever the adjuster says. My God, you would never get any money. So here's the deal, Deb. We need to try to find this roofer and find out what's happening with your roof. First and foremost, what percentage is done? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50? What would you guess?
Probably about 80% of the entire job.
Good. Now, what is the issue that caused you to call today?
They haven't done any painting on the house yet. That needs to be done. They're wanting me to contact the painter and find the painter.
Well, hold on. Was that part of their contract, the painting?
Yep.
But they want you to find them. There's nothing wrong with finding a painter. Go to the referral list and find a painter. But when do they want you to pay the painter directly? There's nothing wrong with that as long as you don't pay for it twice. There's nothing wrong with that. But you wanted a one-stop shop, didn't you?
That's what I thought I was getting.
And by the way, for those listening, the only one-stop shop I know for insurance like that, the only one I know, is Genesis Total Exteriors. Now, they do interiors as well, but they because they do roofing and they do gutters and they do siding, fences, decks, they can windows, they can take care of that plus everything in one shot. And you're truly not dealing with a lot of subcontractors there. You're dealing with one person, Mark Szymanski, the owner. So anyway, if you thought you were doing that and you're not, that's okay. That's not cheating you. That's just more legwork you have to do. So what needs to be done on your house? Painting and what else?
And the gutters need to be redone because all the water on the front of the house
the roofer doesn't.
To the front.
The roofer doesn't do gutters?
It's part of the contract that they were having it done.
All right, this sucks.
And they already had that done. They did that while they were doing the roof.
They did what? The gutters?
Yes.
Why did you say they had to be done then?
I didn't say they had to be done. The roofer, Metro Construction, had that done when the roof was being done.
I'm sorry. I thought you said, what else has to be done? I thought you said gutters.
No, they have to be fixed because the water is running to the front of the house. So
because they installed them incorrectly, you're saying.
Yes.
But they are new.
Yes.
Okay. Man, well, this roofer should take care of all this. What's the name of the roofing company?
Metro Construction.
Oh my God, Metro. Is that the same one we dealt with yesterday? Is that the same guy? No, that can't be. Metro Construction. Why have I heard of this before? Metro Construction. What's the person's name you're dealing with?
Sean Carlson.
All right, we need to call them. You want to take this, Deputy Clinton? Yes? And is Deputy Nate going to make some calls, or is he just sitting pretty? Is he just trying to look good?
You never know, Tom.
I see him sitting in there trying to look good, but we need some calls. Okay, so Metro Construction, Sean Carlson, and when you talk to him, what does he say? Does he appease you at all?
Yeah, he's very nice, and oh yes, we'll get this taken care of, and we understand why you're upset.
Okay.
But I mean, you can say what you want to say, but the proof is in the pudding, and, I don't see him. He doesn't do anything.
Okay, we will call him. We will call him. We will see where he's at and light a fire. Meanwhile, for the other people you need, now I'm serious, Debbie. I'm helping you. You trust me. You probably didn't listen to the show, and that's why you didn't do this, but referrallist.com, 1L or 2, it doesn't matter, referrallist.com, and pick out the people you want. Like Star Quality Painting, for example, comes to mind, but there are other painters on there, and you can find anyone to do anything there. I'm hoping we can get this guy to fix your gutters. You shouldn't have to pay to have those gutters fixed if he installed them. He has to do it properly. John Fuller, Fuller Law, an email question on statute of limitations. If I was hurt last October and I haven't put in a claim, I mean, we haven't settled, what's the situation?
Was it a car accident?
Yes,
or,
I'm sorry, it was a car accident.
For car accidents, the statute of limitations is 3 years. So it's 3 years from the date of the accident, and it's not that your case has to be resolved, but if you don't file a lawsuit before the expiration of that statute, then your claim will go away forever.
3 years?
3 years.
Okay, what's the 1-year statute people think about? Is there one on, I think, for homeowners claims? I don't know. I thought there was a 1 year, but I'm happy to hear 3 years. That gives you time to think.
Right. On slip and fall type cases of premises liability, it's only 2 years, so sometimes people get tripped up by that.
Okay, 303-713-TALK. Debbie is a follow-up. Drew, what's happening in your life, Drew?
Morning, Tom, and you and I got the only total victory in the stock market scandal in the United States, and we also exposed the IME doctors very well. And now we're putting out a book called...
Okay, so by the way, Drew is referencing some problems I helped him with in the past, and Drew is calling from Jersey, and he used to listen to me when I was on in New York City. And hey, Drew, what is this book you're pushing? Before you push it, what is it?
It's Our Best Friend. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
And what is it about, Our Best Friend? What is it about?
It exposes organized religion, that organized religion is not the way to God.
Oh, that's going to be popular. That's going to be popular, isn't it?
I hope so.
My
and
goodness.
In any case, the way to God is unselfish love.
Okay.
This is church, you and
All
I
right.
talking.
No, we're rather than the sermon, though, let's tell people how to get this book if you want to push it. Now, I want to tell people I don't know anything about this book, so but it's called Our Best Friend, okay? There.
Yes,
and it's on Amazon.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you'll see a lovely Christmas cover that's hand-painted right on the cover.
And if they want to search the author, Drew, your last name? You don't have... Well, of course you're going to give it. You're an author. What is it?
Bradford. Drew Bradford.
Okay. Drew, thank you. And this might make a good Christmas gift if people love reading. But it's pretty controversial, isn't it? You're going to expose organized religion.
Yes.
Do you have facts in there?
Yes.
Like what?
Absolutely.
Like what? What's one of the biggest offenses of organized religion, in your opinion?
Well, many organized religions give people the false impression that they can go to some building on a Sunday morning and say some meaningless words and that's okay. No, people are actually supposed to, if they do something wrong, go correct the harm. That's what God says to do. Go correct the harm. That's a beautiful message, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice message. Correct that harm. What about all this sexual offense going on? How do you correct that? Seriously now. Like the, guys that treated women badly. They didn't have respect for them or their bodies. How do you correct that? Say you're sorry or what?
Well, the way that I would talk to people, again, it goes right back to unselfish love. If we're
how would you do it? That's what I'm asking. How would you correct that?
Well, you have to devote our lives, whether it's somebody doing something wrong.
How do you correct that if you've sinned and, like you said, right the wrong? I'm asking these sexual offenders, how should they correct it? What would be considered correcting that or undoing the harm? Or how?
Well, obviously, one of the good things would be to publicly apologize.
Okay.
And then also, if there's any way that they could compensate the particular, whether it's a child who's been molested by a priest or whether it's a woman who's been molested, they should compensate the victim, but definitely apologize and try their best to correct the harm.
Okay. There is a nice winter scene I see on your book. Drew, thank you for calling. Are you married, by the way, Drew?
I am single.
Okay. So, Drew, thank you for telling us about Our Best Friend. It's a book, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and the like. So, hey, by the way, any authors you're welcome to call. I love plugging books. Well, I don't know. I was going to say if they're good. I don't care. I'll let that reader decide on that. We have more, and I want to advise you that John Fuller is here from Fuller Law. If you need anything regarding personal injury information, and a lot of people prefer to email. You can email us to live@troubleshooter.com. Aurora Orthodontics. You never thought of orthodontia as maybe your Christmas gift, but think about this. I'm serious. Let's say your husband has crooked teeth. He's an adult. Here's what the new orthodontics is all about with Dr. Kent Lawson at Aurora Orthodontics. Seriously, this is so cool. With a series of mouthpieces, graduated mouthpieces you wear at night, you widen your palate gradually. He has proven that the adult palate is not fused and can be widened. Then, your teeth naturally begin to straighten. For the finishing touches, he uses Invisalign braces. So, you have a natural, beautiful smile. And because he aligned your jaw properly and he just didn't cover them with veneers, you get your TMJ corrected and sleep apneas. The new orthodontics. It's a wonderful thing, and it's a fraction of the cost of veneers. And the whole process only takes 2 years. Think about that. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ.
I just got my roof finished.
This report is
They had to order shingles. They had to bring shingles from Wisconsin. These roofing companies were devastated. And a lot of times there's contractors like guys and stuff. They're not even. Yeah.
pretty much from.
Just as I'm putting it on, I'm like,
Is that what he just said? Is that right?
What did he say?
Oh, Mark did
accidents being reported at
Coomer and
I've never watched it.
Something.
Oh, had somebody, yesterday you guys turned me on to Dexter.
That's a great series.
I just started it. God,
There's like 8 seasons, so just
is it 8 seasons?
Get settled in. You'll watch every damn one.
My wife's been stuck on the Vikings series because she's big, tall, Swedish blonde, you know.
That's a great series, and there's some really hot rods along the way.
In what?
In Dexter.
Oh, in Dexter.
Okay. Some really great characters that get developed and stuff.
Yeah.
But
the whole idea, but you know, there was a thing I read several years ago about the actual jail time spent by anybody in this country that's ever actually been a vigilante. Bernard Getz shot those guys in the subway. He never really served.
Yeah, but he wasn't really what you consider vigilante.
No, he was hunting. He was.
He went by self-defense, right? I mean,
well, I know, but it wasn't self-defense. He took a gun on there weeks after something happened.
But he didn't go after the guys that.
No, it wasn't even the same guys.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what a vigilante does.
He still got off because he made it appear like it was a vigilante action.
No, self-defense.
Well, yeah.
John,
well,
would you say that is?
Well,
it was self-defense, but it was a little bit after the event that was the.
And it wasn't the right guys. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was guilty as
She has
hell.
an attorney writing her saying that he's going to take action if she doesn't take the review down. I wonder if John should look at it.
It's actually two. That's one of 2 people that both came the same day.
Huh?
There's another one too. I told to call in too that had the same thing. An attorney sent him an email saying that we're taking legal action against you.
Same company?
No.
Hello.
Different ones. It's just kind of funny.
Hello. You called me. Hello.
Do you have any interest in looking at it?
I will tell her what exactly to do, which is very simple. It's not anything that I would take action on. The bar will shut that bullshit down.
Get a trace on this number, please.
Really?
Yes.
Hung on.
That's good to know.
This is bad for the attorney to be doing.
Really?
Let me tell you, I don't think it's even an attorney. That's what I think.
Well,
even if it is, who cares?
Right, but that's exactly
Well,
if it is
John
an
says
attorney
he can
and-
be disbarred for that.
Well, I mean, you're not going to listen.
There's nothing wrong with it. You can threaten legal action.
Or if you have the grounds for it, that's a completely baseless deal. However, here's the trick, okay? There was an attorney-client relationship between that attorney and the client that existed at one point in time, okay? Now that there is a falling apart, okay, this guy still has personal, protected, confidential information. And so he's got to be extremely careful that he doesn't violate the attorney-client privilege in trying to rebut these accusations, okay? And it's a very, very fine line.
You're calling in?
Okay?
Oh, let me look at my text.
You've got to be really, really careful because you
Why
can't
is
disclose information
here
to rebut
like the way, the way in
bullshit
another column. I don't care. I just
But
wondered.
It's almost always
five.
That would be the second one to do in the 12:15 break.
It's just dangerous to do. I mean,
People just ignore them? Oh, good. Okay, that's cool.
You know, you're going to get a couple bad reviews.
Yeah, I like this layout.
I do too. I think too. I might even just take the times out of
The
it.
best thing
That way
to
I'll
do,
keep
I
it
believe,
further than
and I've
it
never
needs to be
done it, but I think the best thing to do is if you had a legitimate client with a
Brent
legitimate
is
claim,
dialing in today.
I think I would respond
Can you be at the top of the hour?
Say, we're very sorry you had this experience, you know, we'd like to take steps to help rectify it.
This is the person who's doing
Because I could come right out and go right to him and then go to, I mean, if he wants to, if he doesn't have to, but he can, that would be very top of the next hour.
Very sorry that you had this experience. We would like to take whatever steps are possible to, you know, to make you a happy camper, whatever you say, you know. That's what they should do. But you can't go on the line and say, I'm going to...
We had a guest on yesterday, Simply Floors, Buddy Mitchell.
I absolutely love talking to him about floors because of how smart he is. He told us about how to choose carpeting. Do you know there's really only nylon and polyester, and then there's something called smart strand, and then there's wool. And he says nylon is the best all around. And then as far as weights, that's really important, weights per square yard, and he recommends between 40 to 60 is the sweet spot, and less than 40 can start getting, you know, it's less dense, let's just put it that way. And then he also recommends a tight twist. The more the twist in the yarn, the better. These are things you can look for, or you can just go to his showroom, 52nd Ward. Now, he has all kinds of carpeting. He has carpets for rentals, for your dream home, or for in between. What I love about him is his honesty, his knowledge, and convenience, and he has decided to make less money to give you bigger savings, meaning he can match the big boys and beat them by 40%, 30 to 50% in some cases, but around 40%. So if you want to use them, you just book your own appointment. They'll come to your home. Then you can go to the showroom, or you can go to the showroom first. It doesn't matter. Here it is, Simply Floors Inc., like Incorporated, simplyfloorsinc.com. Evening appointments are available. You will love Buddy Mitchell. You'll love the savings, and you'll love the selection, all floor coverings. simplyfloorsinc.com. You know, I love when companies educate consumers. That, I tell people, that is one of the most important functions you can have as a business. You need to educate. And then they feel, wow, if this guy knows this much and he's telling me all of this, then he becomes an information source and becomes trusted, and that's the kind of people you want to do business with. So if you're in business, don't just perform, but inform. Sarah, what's going on with you?
Oh my goodness. So some wild stuff with
what's happening? Tell me what you mean by wild stuff. You have somebody threatening you.
Yes. He so I left a negative review after they had emailed me asking for feedback on water tests, and so I was happy to give my honest feedback.
And your honest feedback, is it in this email, Suzanne? I want to see her review. Is this whole thing her review?
I thought I copy and pasted it all for you, Tom.
You wrote this big of a review?
I did.
Feels like a scam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs?
Yes.
First of all, nobody's going to read it, so that's going to be, that's the problem. But I'm happy that you were so moved. And was it from Home Depot?
So that's the confusing thing, is it looks like they're from Home Depot.
Well, did you sign up? Did you sign up at Home Depot?
Yes.
Okay, well, whether you sign up for a water heater or a water test or a furnace, whatever you sign up for, cabinets, countertops, they have vendors that they send, but they're not Home Depot. They're independent vendors that sign up with Home Depot and promise to do it according to whatever Home Depot wants as far as pricing. And so that's how it works. And then Home Depot gets to sell the materials, and I don't think they put a markup on the job itself. You deal directly with the vendor. So so you didn't like the water test, and you put a review in, and I'm certainly not going to read this entire review, but you said it felt like a scam. So what's the end result?
So the end result is I got a letter from an attorney representing this franchise owner saying that if I don't change my review or take it down, they're going to take me to court over a Google review.
That's fine. They can do that. They can take you to court. That's their freedom. And you can defend it. That's your freedom. How did they know it was you?
Because it's my real name and my email address.
Yeah, but they don't put a full name in, do they, on reviews?
I think they do on Google.
Maybe on the back end, Tom.
No,
like
they don't.
Notified.
They don't put in full names, even on Google, and they don't put in your address or phone number either. So they found you out, so that's fine. So they can sue you, and then you defend it. But first of all, to have a lawsuit based on a review, John Fuller, you know, he's an attorney. We're going to ask him. He's a personal injury attorney, but he knows a lot. John, first of all, before anything, you have to have, if you're not, you have to have measurable damages, right? Measurable in a case like this. I mean, I doubt he can claim psychological damage and all that, but he'd have to show some economic loss as a result of this review.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And so how would that manifest itself? It would have to be some lost business opportunities based on customers that he'd never be able to prove did not call them because of that.
He would have to, listen, I get sued, or I used to get sued a lot about this. You know, you did this, you did that, you hurt me. And so the first thing is, to begin with, opinion is protected. You can say anything you want. The only thing you can't do is lie and know it's a lie about someone and perpetrate the lie. You can say it felt like a scam. You can say anything you want about it. You really can. If it's your opinion, you can say it, whether they like it or not. If you say, I know for a fact this guy is a child molester, or they came to my house and stole something from me, or if you lie or say something, you know, that you can't defend, that's false, malicious or false, you can get in trouble. But in this case, I see nothing in this at all, unless they simply said it was inaccurate and you're lying. So really, it's up to you whether you want to fight or not. I doubt they're going to take it to court. You can't. First of all, to get into court, this would be dismissed in summary. This would be dismissed because there's no grounds. And then here's the fun part. If it ever does get to court, they open themselves up. You don't realize this. When you sue me or you sue somebody, I go after all of your financial records. And I want to compare that year to this year to that year, and I want to see how many customers, I want to see what customers specifically did not go there because they heard my broadcast, or in your case, read the review. I want to know all of this stuff. It is virtually impossible for them to do that. So, it's up to you. John, what were you going to say?
You know, I'm not going to specifically advise you to do this, but if I were in your shoes, I might be inclined to modify my review to put a follow-up on it to say that because of my honest review, I've now been contacted by a lawyer's office and this company is threatening to sue me. If that's exactly what they're threatening, and I mean, this thing is going to get ugly early.
I would tell Home Depot for sure.
Or go directly to Home Depot. But this is not Home Depot that she's dealing with. This is an independent company. And go to Home Depot and say, this is how your customers are being treated by this outside vendor.
Right.
And you know.
Let them know. It's a good thing. Let them know.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Let them know.
I'm not offended by your review, Sarah. I read it myself. I don't think it was... I thought it was an insightful, helpful review. If I were considering a product like that, I would take your review as being truthful and take it into consideration.
Yeah, what do you do for a living, Sarah?
I am a graphic designer. and I stay home with my 2 little kids.
And you have a very detailed nature, I take it?
Yes.
No, and I'm complimenting you. This is a good review. I mean, this is the things and the quoting and all of that. It's really good. It's something that I might want you to review things for me, and I'm not kidding.
Great, I'd be happy to.
Good. You hold on. We might get Sarah's reviews. Suzanne, get Sarah's information. I might want her to review a few things. Oh, great. That's cool. Stem cell therapy. It is controversial right now within the medical community. No one is really saying it doesn't work, but it has the effects that are either marvelous, then it takes care of everything. I mean, it really does great, or minimal results. The thing is, you have to have real living stem cells, in my opinion, to get the most benefit. Now, I'm not telling you that amniotic fluid is bad. Now, that is the fluid that most of these chiropractors use because you can't ship in real living stem cells. You have to harvest it. And most of these chiropractic offices simply use nurses to inject amniotic fluid. It does have growth factors, and it does come from living stem cells. However, if you want real, full stem cell, living stem cell treatment, you need to have MDs, and it needs to be harvested on the spot, either from your fat cells or your bone marrow. It's not really a painful procedure at all, a tiny bit of discomfort. Centeno Schultz is one of the original clinics around the country doing this. Dr. Chris Centeno credits himself with being the first practitioner to use stem cells in therapy. They use living stem cells that they harvest, and they use guided injections only. They never blindly inject a joint. They have 14,000 patients in their data bank that they have treated for bad knees or hips or back, shoulders, hands, and most ACL tears have been fixed, and they have records to show it. Call for an evaluation if you're considering surgery. Call and see if stem cell therapy may be for you. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201.
Even though if that was a real attorney, that sounds like
talk about how
probably
we can
would.
help home buyers.
Think about it.
I mean, they're trying to get...
You can get a fucking attorney to dance on your court. You just have to pay him, right? I don't mean you. I mean most. Not most.
They're just writing a mean, nasty letter and see if that'll make it go away. They're not going to file anything.
Does she have an attorney?
Should she?
Does she have an attorney letter?
Oh.
With a heading.
I'd like to see the letter if she could send it to us.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's really her.
And then we're done with it. They just did that over the phone, so it's not create a real paper trail.
Yeah, if she could send us the letter.
I'd be surprised if it was a real attorney.
Well, I like your idea of going back on there and do reviews saying, so I gave my personal opinion on this review, they sent their lawyer, and you can put his name and everything on there.
I put the stamp letter on there. I just scanned that bitch right into the review.
I like that. I like that. I really do. I really like that.
Absolutely.
And I talked to yesterday that got real nasty.
I'd love to see that letter, because I guarantee he's probably not even licensed in Colorado. You know, he may be, but he's probably some national franchise attorney that's writing the mean, nasty letters. He's not even licensed in Colorado.
That's one of those things you join for so much a year.
No, it sounded like this is a local franchise of a bigger company that sells these water filtration systems. So they probably sent that up to the mothership, and the mothership, council is sending the mean, nasty. Well, that's,
phenomenal customer
service.
incredibly high quality dental care.
Yeah, that
Words
sounds
can't describe my experience at Willow City
incredulous.
You really have to see for yourself. Schedule a new patient appointment today.
The other day I woke up, it was 52 degrees in Alamorada, Florida, and 43 when I got to the airport in Fort Lauderdale.
If you're thinking about
Those people lose their damn minds down there.
Oh, is that cold?
Pardon me, Sarah, the caller with the review, she was going to forward the letter. She's concerned because the email has all that confidentiality BS at the bottom, and now she's afraid if she shares it with it.
No, you send that to me. Send it right along. You can't bind somebody to a mean, nasty letter. a bunch of confidentiality bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, why do people feel that you're obligated because you didn't agree? Now, they had your agreement
their
beforehand.
emails. That's ridiculous. That's just CYA bullshit that everybody does, that nobody fucking ever reads, realizes, or anything. And I'm guilty of it too, but actually I'm not. I don't have that in my email.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid. I don't have it. I think I did at one point in my life, but I don't now, and I have it for 10 years.
See what you learn on this show. Yeah, it's a brain trust in here.
You learn new ways to use all the bad words that you knew before.
No, I was standing downstairs before we come up here. The smartest room I've ever been in. I've been a college professor. Is this room?
Right.
We have experts in here every day on stuff that well, just like Buddy was talking about.
Oh, I know he was talking about me. He's talking about all the experts we have in damn.
Well, I'm talking about the room.
I'm like, keep going.
Oh, the chairs. They're damn smart chairs.
Yeah. No, the years of experience too. You know, just
during and after your procedure.
it's really amazing. I'm still in awe after 3 months, or 2.5 months.
TLC is offering an exciting, FDA-approved, simple 10-minute procedure that could make you less dependent on reading glasses. Imagine life without your readers.
So you own a bunch of hangars at Centennial, or not at Centennial, but Front Range?
Yeah, that was nice.
All your stuff's at Front Range, right?
No, it used to be.
Yeah.
I used to rent for many years ago. Then I bought my own hangar. Then I bought another hangar. Then I left and went to Centennial.
Where's your
Your little air coupe was out there. So was it in Chuck's hangar? What is that rent for? 600. He's a little one in his person. He's in a box. Oh, they're about 48 by 48. Yeah. I don't even know what they're.
Where's your helicopter?
In Centennial. I have a hangar there.
Gotcha. One of the private ones on the airport grounds.
Yeah. I'm in an area though, an exclusive area of the airport is called House North. And the reason I say that because it's really one of the most desired places. And there are no more hangars being built.
Are they condominiumized so you own it?
Now, that's another thing I wanted to say. They're all condominiumized where you own it. On most of the airport, you just own, you only own the airspace. You don't own anything. You just have rights to it, but the ground is owned by the airport. On my area,
the radio station that has people,
and it's a condo. It's the only area on the airport.
I sent you guys that letter. I sent it to John at JLRPC or whatever is in my whatever.
Hi, Tom Martino here. The Christmas special at Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center continues today. That means that for 10 more people, you will be eligible for $1,000 off hearing aids. If you call for an evaluation and schedule it, you got to call today. You don't have to have it today, and you don't have to oblige yourself to buy. It just puts you in line for this $1,000 discount. These hearing aids are the first around for smartphone compatibility. That means you put your hearing aids in, you control them with your phone, you can even take phone calls with your hearing aids. People, I mean, you can't even see them. They're wonderful, and you will absolutely love it. Helpforringing.com is the website, but just call them and schedule to be in on this $1,000. Only 10 are available today. Now, each day, I wait to see if they get 10 more available because there are limited numbers because they're doing it around the country. So, but Colorado Tinnitus here, however, is doing their own promotion here for the holidays. Get it? 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. So, we are talking to Robert now about an apartment complex. So, Robert, what's going on?
Oh, yes, sir. For about a year now, this Village Creek Apartments is trying to sue me for like almost $4,000.
Okay, why are they trying to sue you?
Well, it's on my collection. Let me back up. Maybe it's not actually a lawsuit yet, but it's on my
all right, let's talk about the issue. How did it start, sir?
Okay, well, I was living there.
Yeah.
I was almost to the end of my lease. I signed a new lease, but I just happened to get fired from a job. I had 2 jobs. I was getting fired, and I couldn't afford the new lease. So I immediately contacted this leasing office and told
Now, was
them,
it set to automatically renew?
Yeah, I had already had that set up, but I had gotten fired.
Right, and when was the lease up, Robert?
This was 6 years ago, Tom.
It was supposed to be right, but it was supposed to be up on what, like December something, or January, or February?
Yeah, it was like if I.
Okay, whatever.
All
right, that's fine.
Anymore,
6 years ago, it was due to auto renew, and you called him.
Right, I called them to renew it. I couldn't renew it because it was going to be out of my price range.
But was it? I need to know. Was it truly an auto renewal? Did it say that it?
Oh no. It was. I had signed the new lease.
Oh.
About a month prior to me getting.
Okay, I got you. So you did sign the lease.
Clear.
You did sign it, and you called and said, well, okay, but I want to tell you something, Robert, straight up. You are responsible. It doesn't matter if you got fired a day later. If you signed it, by the strict sense, you are responsible. So we can't dispute the bill at this point. I mean, you owe the money. If you did not fulfill the lease, all your concern should be now is making sure they accurately calculate the losses. For example, they don't get double paid. If they rented it out immediately, there was no loss. But if they incurred loss, then they should be compensated. The excuse for canceling doesn't matter, even, by the way, death, by the way. If you died a week after signing a lease, they can come after your estate for the rest of the lease.
So even though that I completed we're talking about the second year's lease.
Well, but it was a new lease, though, right, Robert?
It was a new lease. Yeah.
Robert, see, I want to help you, Robert, but I need you to understand. If people understand where we're coming from, then they understand how to solve the problem. What I'm getting at is this. If you signed a lease, it doesn't matter if it was the second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, you signed it. Right. A month later, you're fired, and we know it's not your fault. You were fired. You couldn't afford it. But you're still obligated unless they let you out of it voluntarily. Did they let you out of it?
No, I gave them that they were saying that I didn't give them enough notice.
Okay, all right. So,
blah, blah, blah.
So you were not out of the lease. Now what you have to be concerned about are damages. How much are they trying to collect?
$3,700.
Okay, and did they break it down?
No, they haven't broke it down, but the collection agency that I talked to said they were willing to settle for half. So
okay. So your only concern is if that's fair or not, and that the collection agency has authority to collect. You have to make sure of that. They don't always have authority. They can lie about it. You have to make sure they truly have authority.
Well, what's it mean when they say they did not purchase the debt? What's that?
That means they're just doing a collection service. Sometimes they buy the debt, and then it's theirs. They can do what they want with it. At other times, they just get paid for collecting. Did they actually tell you they did not buy the debt?
Yeah, I talked to them yesterday because I was trying to follow up.
Why did they tell you that? Why did they even tell you that? That's not something a collector normally says. Oh, Robert, you got to pay this bill, and by the way, we did not buy this debt. How did that come up?
Well, I was talking to him. I was explaining to him my situation.
Yeah.
And that's when the collector, the guy told me, he said, look, we didn't purchase this debt.
Meaning don't bother telling him your sob story. He can't do anything about it. That's what he meant.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out, get some advice.
All right.
Should I contact this apartment complex directly and try to make a deal with them, or?
You can do that. You can do anything, all of the above. Contact them, contact the collector, and make a deal. You have to make sure that truly it is the apartment complex collecting. There are collectors that find debt and collect on it, and they don't have authority. That's a real problem. So I would contact the apartment complex. Hold on, because I really need to take this break quickly, and then we'll talk about it. it's important. I also want to tell you about another important thing, and that's the Raleigh House, which is a treatment addiction facility headquartered right here in Denver. In fact, they're only in Denver, and they have a few locations in Denver. But here's the important thing. They have established a special community hotline where you can call and get any information you want. Not just about the Raleigh House. I mean, they have a wonderful program. They'll be happy to talk about it. But this is not a sales job. You're not obligated to do anything except ask questions. You can ask about what is treatment, how long does it take, you can ask about costs. You can ask about insurance. You can ask about types of addiction. How do I approach the addict in my life? How do I get them to come in? Can you talk to them with me on a conference call? All of those questions, whatever you have, they will answer because the Raleigh House wants you to be informed. And there really is no place to get good information on addiction, to talk to a counselor, not face-to-face, but on the phone. And it's private and it's confidential. Here's the number, 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559, theRaleighHouse.com.
How you know, that's such a hot air market. I can't believe that's that empty.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to the call.
I always get paid for all these.
Was it here in Denver? Can you say where it was at?
Oh, I didn't catch it. He said Village Creek Apartments, but
you're right. So I'm sure they can't double collect. So.
Yeah, I just wonder if they really. How do you prove that they?
Pretty good shape on the drive on I-25.
Well, look at the apartment.
Yeah, but he said it was 6 years ago.
Oh,
He just
6 years ago wasn't as hot.
Yeah.
25.
Hey.
Right now, mostly cloudy in Denver, 44. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-House.
American companies and workers are
a brain trust. You got too many things going on at once over here. I can't. Well, you're running the podcast.
Call Congress
looking stuff up.
And tell him to vote for real tax reform.
Well, I just do the
Retirement can last 20,
bring the commercials
30,
in.
or more years. No
well, I bring the banners.
The banners are above the.
Yeah.
So
How are the banners
Are
doing?
you confident your
Good.
retirement savings will last throughout your retirement years? This is Linda Gardner with Blueberry
I mean, you know, I put yours on every time you talk. You come up
Heard
with
every
that.
Saturday
Oh,
right here on
okay, that's
630
it.
K-House.
You even got the control room.
Retirement income strategy that you won't outlive. A strategy to show you
But
what
that's it.
you can
When
spend with
so
your
if you talk also, I
your
bring this one up
lifestyle,
because you're in on
follow your
that.
retirement
There's you
dreams.
over there.
You worked hard and saved for your retirement. Now it's time to
You're
make
not
sure
there
you
now.
have
Don't get a
income
banner.
to last your
You don't get a
life.
banner.
Call today for your complimentary, no obligation visit.
No banner for you.
Oh, okay.
With your own retirement income strategy.
I don't know what I'd want on it.
Right now, 720-488-8604. That's 720.
Do you make the banners on there?
Yeah.
On her thing?
Or online.
See?
Your money
See, I keep telling about this brain trust here.
No, it's
A lot of this for 25 years.
cut,
Almost
paste.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do it.
And getting back to the very active life I used to love.
When you're forced to do something,
Now that I'm a client of Downtown,
you learn how to do it.
Yeah, that's.
Downtown's healthcare is Colorado's
I
leader
shouldn't
in
say forced. Forced.
and with their regenerative medicine program, I am all in.
How many times you go down to Florida?
To get back to
It is
a
a
more
plan.
active life.
Do you rent it out in between?
Have more fun. Learn more at Downtown's
No, it's just our house. We have all of our shit, stations up there.
I know, because that gets a little.
God, this got 6 years.
We're actually in an area that they don't allow that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they do, but it would have to be a long-term lease, more than 30 days.
So we could do, what is that?
VRBO or whatever. You know, they're really serious about that shit, and they will go online and they will book your shit.
All-wheel drive.
The government will do it and find the shit out of your sedan with everything in it. I mean, they don't fuck around. They get you down in Key West for like $10,000, $20,000.
Yeah, I know. My wife has a lot.
Because they're not-
At 550.
No, because they're not allowed to do it in their zone. So,
Power.
or they'll get a permit if they are in the right zone. So they're pretty militant about that.
So, if you did it just among friends or whatever,
I can have a friend show up every other day down there, and there's nothing they can say about it, as long as I'm not renting it to their friends. But
I just heard a comedian
it's
talking
all
the other
talk
day
pictures
about
of, you know,
Mercedes is telling you when you're too sleepy,
we
cars
didn't buy
will
it
get you.
with that expectation.
Have you done that to you yet? Your
If I
driver
owned a
tells you,
condo or something, it's
no,
very
but
tempting, you know,
it does, it really did.
put everything in the, you know, like.
And I was.
Big storage every time you go
Yeah,
down there.
my fishing rods alone are probably $15,000 worth, you know?
The modern way to pay.
This is the
I have like 15 of them, and they're.
We now have a North Korea because of Bill Clinton's horrific deal with the North Koreans and his attempted bribery of Kim Jong-il, which is Kim Jong-un's father, of energy and billions of taxpayer dollars. And the one fish on
you just don't really want to have that shit like, hey, there's 10 rods in there, let's just take one down to the pier and go fishing.
Or if you want those.
Oh, yeah.
His job will point out their bias.
I'm broke this year, man, and I'm cleaned out. Hurricanes, I just put new electronics on my boat.
Coming up today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station.
They were ordered before the hurricane, so, you know.
So Ronald's calling in.
I talked about, somebody just sent me an email because I talked about that one, getting one contractor to do everything with an insurance claim. There aren't many that do it and do it well, but Genesis Total Exteriors is one of those. I gave out the name and somebody said, what was that number? Because they do siding, windows, gutters, fencing, decks, painting, roofing, and they do gutters, and they do also interior stuff. But here's the number, 303-679-8509, 679-8509. Let's keep going. Sarah is back. I didn't get to read the attorney letter, but I wanted John to read it. Did you send it to John? Did you read the attorney's letter? We wanted to evaluate it and see if it sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So he's still reading it. We'll go back to her after we get it. Christine has a problem with the dealership. Christine, what is your problem?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Thank you very much for taking my phone call.
What's going on?
I appreciate it.
Well, what's going on?
The end of October, October 30th, my son and we purchased a used Subaru WRX from Boulder Dodge Chrysler in Boulder. To say the very least, the complete negotiation experience was a very uncomfortable experience.
I hate when that happens. And you know what? It sets the tone for everything else. So can we get to what the problem turned out to be?
You bet. Well, so at the time of negotiation, which in fact they did take $100 off of asking, which we felt was like zero. And again, as I mentioned, it was very uncomfortable. But also at the time, my son brought up several things that he sort of noticed wrong with the car. For instance, he mentioned something about the clutch.
Yeah, but what is this? What does this have to do with the problem part? The negotiation was the problem?
No, not necessarily. I think it's just
what is the problem? Did he end up buying the car?
We did end up buying the car.
Okay, I know you're trying. No, Christine, I understand. And remember, I do this not just for the ones calling, but those listening. I think you're trying to set the stage that it was uncomfortable and they weren't very, what do you call it, enlightening.
Professional and
okay.
And a lot of things. They were also very rude. And even before we signed the dotted line, Tom, they handed us an iPad and said, will you please give us a 4 or 5 star review?
Okay. Well, Christine, my only, not my only, but one of my comments right up front, why did you continue to do business with them? Why didn't you just leave?
We you know, Tom, honestly,
and it's not
we shouldn't have.
Well, of course.
We really
why did you keep going?
Well, and that is really a excellent question. I think because primarily my son had been looking for this particular car. I think that they knew that basically they had the fish on the hook.
Well, then, okay, but then you left them. Okay, so where is the problem, though? I haven't heard the problem yet.
Well, within days, we started noticing issues with the car. And
what are the issues?
So we
How many miles? Okay, first questions. How many miles on it?
About a little over 99,000.
Okay. You understand that, did you buy it as is?
We did, and we purchased a warranty.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, not good. I don't like warranties, but it's good that you have one now. How much did you pay for the warranty? Do you remember?
Just under $2,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Okay, so, I mean, what was the car price?
The car price was basically, it was $19,000.
Okay. So, the deal is you noticed issues with the car. Let's get right to the problem. What's wrong with the car?
Bottom line is that we are having issues with the clutch.
Okay.
Power steering is leaking heavily.
And that's why you mentioned the clutch, but you see, people mention that to me thinking that that strengthens their position, and it actually weakens your position. Because you actually knew that there were some issues and kept going. So this, because people do that all the time. Say, Tom, we mentioned the clutch, and they said it's nothing to worry about, and then we bought it, and now the clutch is going out. By saying you had that previous conversation weakens the argument. What I need to do is find out the name of the dealer. Oh, you gave it to me, Boulder, Dodge, Chrysler. I think we should call them, but I need to know what to call about. Hang on.
Affordable interest mortgage still has rates in the mid-3s.
Do that upgrade that you've been putting on. Pay off that high interest rate debt or just get ready for the holidays. Purchase your next home with only 2% down and no mortgage insurance. Take aim.
Can you buy in California or something? I remember the story.
Took my Ferrari.
Oh, that's right.
The specs. The only reason I got 2 Mercedes, Stephanie was due for one.
Right.
The only reason I got another car is the amount of the check they wanted to raise. This retail value far surpassed it. I know it was all smoke and mirrors, but still, it was better to have this car because I got more value for my trade. I knew I could convert that car, but the problem is I've been sitting on it. And you sit on a car like that, and I was looking at the value, and I thought, holy, just sitting.
Dropping like a rock.
So I mean, why have a depreciating asset in my garage with hardly any miles on it?
Which Mercedes is it?
It's the S550. It is. I literally will give somebody a screaming deal. This car topped out at more than 120,000 sticker. I mean, no bullshit. And that it's a 2016.
What's it worth now?
Well, wholesale, it's worth around 7,000 something. Yeah. I want to get any fair price I can get, but I'm not going to be insulted.
Right.
The thing is no one would ever get a better deal because it's new, it's been sitting there, and it's me. I just want to get rid of it. And I really would I'd make a fucking deal that would probably upset my wife, but I'm not looking for.
Right.
I'm telling you, I think that if I could get someone serious, I would let it go for wholesale or under. I would. I really would. But I'm not going to do that for all the bullshit I have to go through. I can wholesale it right now. I just want to try first to get more than this. But ultimately, I will go to a wholesaler and let him write me a check. But then I figure if I'm going to do that, I may as well have a friend do it. Because if I'm going to let a wholesaler take it, just let somebody take it.
But Tom, they ship a lot of those damn cars over to Russia and other places. I mean, that's a big business, and there are plenty of people that could write you a check for a screaming deal on that car if you just put it out there.
Yeah, I know. I just hate
that 550. My wife's got that 550 hers.
As requested, I have Brent Ivinson coming on for the top of the hour when you come back.
Little Mercedes.
I'll whisper in your ear, Tom.
We have to keep it right to a minute.
I mean, they're fast.
Yeah. No, they're nice. I'm not in the market.
Oh, no, but if you know anyone, I just don't want to go through the process of publicly listing. Oh, my God.
Very few of them have that 550. Most of them you see are like the 3.
No, this is the mother.
I know, it is. That's what I'm saying.
Four-door all-wheel drive, and I got,
it should be easy to sell.
Of course it was. It will be if I took, it's easy if it wasn't me. I swear to God, selling something, first of all, when I sell something, these people, if they have a blinker go out, they're going to call me and say, I'll go to the media. No, you don't understand. When I've sold shit, I swear to God, people think that I am giving them something that is so perfect. If anything goes wrong, they got my word on it, even if I don't say it. I'll say, now look, guys, this is huge. I sold an aircraft. I told that son of a bitch, I said, I redid this airplane. I want you to have it annual. If you had it annual, I want you to inspect it. And those sons of bitches landed it so hard on the nose wheel. They were a partnership. 4 guys cracked the motor mount. Now, I ask you, how do you blame me for that? A cracked motor mount.
You didn't teach them how to fly.
Shitty weld.
Didn't teach them how to not porpoise an airplane on landing.
I said, guys, I'm not doing anything. Then they said, we're going to the FAA. I gave them all of my books and said, you know, he did this, we think he did, just to get me in trouble, and nothing happened. I said, why are you doing this? Oh, I know what happened. On my owner's maintenance, I swear to God, the FAA told me, you're allowed to do this maintenance. You did the oil change something, but you didn't sign it off. I said, well, you didn't sign it. Me, yeah, you have to, you as the owner, if you do owner maintenance, have to sign it off in the log. It was in the log, I just didn't sign it.
I didn't know that either. I thought
you have to make a statement about it being airworthy.
I thought you had to have an.
Not for owner.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm talking about owner maintenance, like oil. There's certain things on that.
But I never would have thought of signing it either.
Neither would I. I mean, it was in my log.
Oh well.
You might want to read this gal's updated review, because she has added some shit to it. That I think she ought to be about done with it. Here's her update. I'd probably leave it alone at this point.
Yeah, she said
Where? I would encourage anyone else. That one?
Where it says update.
I have been contacted by the owner.
I've been oh, okay.
You'll be happy today, or you don't pay. It's more
than a okay. Oh, wow. So what do you think about that update?
Well, I think it's fine, but now I'd be done with it.
Okay. She's poking the bear, maybe?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, this is what you suggested. You suggested something like that.
I suggested it's fine. She went a little overboard with the whole FAA or FCC and whatever the hell she's citing in there, but it's fine.
She's a ballbuster, man. I like her.
But I would just leave it alone now. They're not going to sue you. If there is a bunch of shit on Home Depot about this outfit running scams and stuff, then it's not a secret that they're in this, you know, deal.
I like her. Do you like her? I like her spunk.
She's fine.
And the most spunky woman in the world is my wife. There's no one.
Turn down the
no
clutch
one.
for wear.
That,
Clutch for wear on that warranty.
Yeah.
But because it's a wear item.
Of course. The clutch would be absolutely. It's got 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah, no one would take advantage.
Hey, the attorney wrote this. You would know the answer to this. The attorney's letter at the bottom says, basically, this letter is copyrighted and cannot be republished. And
oh, that is a kind of a technicality they can get you on.
So she's not going to republish the letter.
But that's,
and I'm going to tell her that.
The copyright is a smart thing.
I've never seen that.
That's smart. That is smart because you can't bind someone to confidentiality, but you can copyright freaking anything you want.
Right.
But doesn't he have to register as a copyright? No.
You only register for litigated damages, statutory damages. You can actually get damages without registering. You can go to court and get damages, but you can't get the statutory damages.
So anything that you don't want to populate, you just put that in.
You don't want that shit to get out. You know,
oh my God, it's so smart.
On 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, and rates are going up. Brent Ivinson, what do you advise consumers to do?
Well, don't wait. You know, this is a trend we see year in and year out, that as we get into the new year, we see rates rise. Now, a couple other things that are impacting this year that are unique. Looks like they're going to try and pass the tax plan next week. That could have a significant impact on interest rates. We could see the stock market go up very quickly.
Which means it takes money away from mortgages, right?
That's right. Money floods out of the bond market into the stock market. So in order to attract investors, we've got to raise interest rates. So don't wait. Time is not going to be on your side. Rates are still at some of the lowest levels of the year. We're still below 4% on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, but that's not likely to last a whole lot longer.
IdealHomeLoans.com, IdealHomeLoans.com. Call now, 303-867-7000, and you get to skip payments through the holidays in January, 303-867-7000. Let's continue with our show. Sarah wrote a review on Google about a company that came out and tested her water. She said it felt like a scam. Then she's notified by an attorney who says, you know, take it down or we're going to sue you. And she says there's no way. She wanted to get our advice. And then she did this updated review. And Sarah, when did you do the updated review?
I updated it right after I got the letter.
And you actually said in the updated review, I'm paraphrasing and not quoting it all, but you said, since this was issued, I got I got a threat from an attorney from this company, and I stand by every word. and basically I dare him to do something, and if you have a problem, I urge you to come on and give an honest review, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you basically said, I did it, and I stand by it, so there. John Fuller Law is with us today. He is a personal injury attorney, but he has a legal mind. We talk a lot about issues. What about this one, John?
Sarah, I think you're fine. As you know, I would be done. I don't think I would add anything else to it. I don't think I would. I definitely would not post the letter. The attorney that wrote you the letter, which, by the way...
Let's talk about that in general. The confidentiality clauses in letters. Can someone bind you to confidentiality? That first.
So, I'm not a copyright attorney.
Not copyright. I'm talking about confidentiality.
Yeah, if you state in your letter that everything in this is confidential and you're not allowed to redisclose it, that largely has no effect.
Okay? Right, because before you even get it, they're assuming you agree to the terms and conditions.
You never agreed to those terms and conditions.
Right.
And stuff. But this attorney has done something kind of interesting. And first and foremost, he's not a Colorado attorney. He's not allowed to practice law here. He's writing you a letter that's not generally the practice of law, but he's not going to be able to go to court and do anything without somebody local.
Now, here's the deal. Okay. He did something very unusual. He did not try to bind you to confidentiality. He did something else. What is it, John?
He put on the bottom of his letter that he's basically attaching copyright protection to his letter and not allowing any republishing of the letter.
He's saying this letter is copyrighted, and I think that's ingenious because
it's smart, but it's kind of impliedly saying I really don't want this letter to get out into the public because you know that this response in itself would be almost worse than the bad review to begin with, you know. So I think you're pretty much done. I wouldn't say anything else about the contents of the letter. The fact that they sent you a letter and threatened you is not protected in any way. I think you're fine. I think you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Now they can sue for anything, whether they get anywhere. I don't see anything, in my own opinion, not legally, but in my own opinion, I don't see anything actionable there. I mean, you're just telling your opinion on your experience, and then you were pissed off that they threatened you. All of that's good. Have you heard anything since?
Well, my husband did call the owner where it gave his contact information, and the owner
you guys are something.
At us.
The owner did what?
Got irate?
Yes, he was. It escalated very quickly on the phone, and he was threatening that I have a lot of money, and I'm going to fight you to take this review down, and that's what I do with all my negative reviews. So
okay,
okay, so let's see what happens. Sarah, keep in touch with us because I'm going to get in touch with you. If you love reviewing things, that's super duper. I mean, you wrote a really good review. Now, Christine at the car dealership, I didn't forget about you. Let's go to you now, okay? Sorry about that. So, Christine, I needed to do that follow-up. So you bought this car. You bought a warranty with it. It's got 99,000 miles. It was purchased as is, although you have a warranty, so it's not completely as is. It's as is, but covered by a used car warranty. And the bottom line here is you were upset from the very beginning. And I tell people this, I tell business people this in my seminars, that if you set the stage for someone to fill up their bucket of injustices, they're going to want to dump that bucket on you at some point. And here's what it doesn't take much to do that. Once that bucket is full, you have a hard time keeping that customer happy because they start looking at things. He was rude. Something goes in the bucket. They took too long to do this. Something goes in the bucket. They did this to me. Something goes in the bucket. That bucket gets full, and then all it takes is one small little thing, and that customer will unload that bucket. And that's what you're doing. You didn't like this place from the very beginning, and I'm going to go a step further. You are angry at yourself because you went through with it, and you had a gut feeling not to. Did I summarize everything accurately?
Well, actually not quite.
What did I get wrong?
Well, and really you didn't get anything. I'm not going to say that you really got anything wrong. But, you know, I will admit that, yes, it was not a very positive experience from the get-go. That is true. When my son did bring up some issues with the car, you know, they just said, oh, no, our mechanics have looked at everything. The car is just fine.
Well, no. Did they put that in writing?
No, it was all verbal.
Okay, that means nothing, right? But your son knew there was something wrong.
Yeah, he did.
Then you should have had it fixed. When they say things like that off the cuff, well, our mechanics looked on it and everything's fine. Say, please put that on the contract.
Oh, I wish we would have.
Yeah,
Tom,
okay, so keep going. So keep going. The bottom line is you got a problem with the car, and are they going to fix it under warranty? Let's just get right there.
No.
Why?
Nothing is under the warranty that we purchased. Well, and first of all, we also were under the understanding that there was a 3-month warranty after we purchased the car that was some sort of like a powertrain warranty. When we started really noticing, issues.
Well, what do you mean you were under the impression that there was a 3-month warranty?
My son and I both understood that there was a 3-month powertrain warranty that was effective immediately. However,
then why did you buy a warranty?
We bought a warranty thinking then, because we do realize that Subarus, some especially can have issues like with head gaskets,
okay.
that sort of.
So, Christine, where are we going with this?
Make sure.
Where are we going with this? They're not going to fix the problem, right? See, all of your impressions and feelings and curiosities and hunches really don't mean anything. So let's get right to the meat of it. What do you want? Why did you call? What's going on?
I guess the reason I called is that then we have the car's in the shop.
Okay.
Within 30 days, check engine light went on. We are now needing to do $3,600 in repairs.
Okay.
Nothing is under that warranty.
You should probably go somewhere else to have the repairs.
Well, we actually called several places, and they all said that basically this would be the correct amount for everything that has to be fixed on the car. And when we have called back the dealership and asked them, gosh, can you guys help us with any of this? Because we were told that everything was fine with the car. They said no, they won't do that. And another thing, Tom, that I will just simply say, at the time that we were sitting down at the desk and, my son's handed the iPad where he has to sign a 4 or 5-star review, which I felt very uncomfortable with. I felt like that was unethical. And you're right. Yes, I had a lot of, gut feelings going on with this entire situation. But he also mentioned, he said, can we get gas in the car? And I thought, well, that's something maybe just to ask. Well, then come to find out, when we actually go out to leave, the car was on fumes, and I walked in.
All of this doesn't, Christine. I understand. This is more. This sounds more like a review of a dating experience, because it's all about feelings. It has nothing to do seriously with the issue at hand. And I don't want you to be upset with me, but I'm telling you that none of this matters. None of it. These people are just, they just don't know how to coddle and take care of a customer. It's clear to me. They don't. They did so many stupid mistakes. So many stupid mistakes. But so did your son. So did your son. I wish I could tell you, you know what, if he told you that's good, we're going to call up and get this fixed. I would like to put out the word about the place so people know not to go there if they shared with your experience, since you shared it. So it's Boulder, the actual name is Boulder Dodge Chrysler?
I think it's Boulder Chrysler Dodge.
Okay.
I think it's Boulder Chrysler Dodge Ram, to be exact.
Okay.
And yes, it is in Boulder. I am going to write a review.
All right, so here's the deal. What you have to do is basically find another dealer to really look at that and give you the lowdown on what's wrong with it. Okay.
I've talked to Valley Subaru in Longmont.
All right, Josh, that's good. You need to find, and not necessarily a dealer. And I wish I had better news for you, but at least you helped others listening not to make the same mistakes. If you have a hunch, if you have a bad feeling, don't do it. Tom, you have a question for John Fuller. What is it, sir?
Hey, Tom, I caught your show early on when you started, and you guys were talking briefly, or at least I missed it anyway, about uninsured motorist coverage.
Yes.
My thought is, shouldn't I raise up my as high as I could possibly go?
We'll talk about that, okay? Just hang on, Tom. I really want to talk about that. That is an interesting point you bring up. Right now, this investment opportunity, Become the Banker, has gotten so much attention from our show. Now, people have written to me with questions saying, but what about this and what about that? Here's the deal, okay? It is a great investment. I can find no pitfalls whatsoever. Should it be your only investment? No. But here is an investment for people who are common, just the common men and women. You don't need a lot of money to do it, and it's brilliant. What it is, basically, we call it Become the Banker, because you're going to overfund a life insurance policy on purpose. The purpose is not the life insurance. That's just the vehicle to get the savings, because the government says when you have life insurance, we're going to let you fund it, and everything that grows inside that policy is tax-free. You see? Why? Because they want you to have life insurance. They don't want you to depend on Social Security and the government. So they encourage us to buy life insurance. Having said that, when you get this life insurance policy, you are able to overfund it, and you can pick how much you want to put in. That grows tax-free. Here's the great thing. After just a few days, you can borrow from it. You can borrow from it to buy cars, to buy a washing machine, to go on vacation. It's a loan. Then you pay it back to yourself with interest. Guess what happens? That interest goes into your account and starts growing tax-free. You are actually paying yourself instead of a credit card. Now, once this nest egg grows and you borrow from it, pay it back, use it here, pay it back, it grows to a point that when you're 50 or 60 or whatever age you want, you can then start taking out regular paychecks and never pay tax on it, ever, because it's a loan. And then, guess what happens? The loan is paid off by the life proceeds. It's a wonderful, brilliant idea. Find out the details. Joe Chiano is the guy I know that is the best at this. He's been doing it for years. He explains it in his seminar, or call him directly. You can go to becomethebanker.info to see my video and sign up for the next seminar, or you can just call and ask questions. Either way, becomethebanker.info. The number 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600, becomethebanker.info.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center, there's a
downside to it. I had guys try to poke holes in it, drill holes because it sounds too good.
Well, you don't make a mint off it. It's like 5% or whatever.
No, but still.
So I went to a HOA meeting last night.
In Florida?
No, here. Do you remember the name Titus Terranova?
Geez, Titus sounds like I don't remember the last name.
Do you remember a guy up in Adams County that wrote a bunch of shit on the side of an RV to kind of scare off potential buyers from the house next door?
Oh yeah, because he did. Like I party all night.
Party all night. I had large Rottweilers. I fucking hate horses.
Right. I remember that. They bring it up every once in a while.
So he's my neighbor. Okay, he's the president of the HOA in my subdivision.
Why is the president of the HOA always Hitler's kid?
He's done that, and Titus is a fucking ass. Okay, I mean he's just a pompous, arrogant ass. But he's not dumb. Okay, he runs a successful company. He's just arrogant. Titus goes around and meets with all the homeowners and gets the proxies for the HOA meeting. So he walks in there with like 90 votes in his back pocket. He's like, I'm reasonably confident I'm going to win tonight. Okay, so he pisses people off bad. So there's people at this HOA meeting that are literally, two guys threatened to take it outside. They were going to go fight each other because they're fighting so bad in this fucking HOA meeting. At the end of the vote, shit erupts. Okay, everybody's talking about this is fucking bullshit that he collects all the proxies. It's not bullshit. Those people wanted him to be. They knew what they were doing when they gave him proxies. It's a vote for Titus. Okay, it's not like Titus, I'm going to go independently vote who I think is. He votes for himself. No shit. Titus just stands up and basically throws his best Donald Trump out there and goes, I won, get used to it.
So tell me this, why are people, did he pass something that was...
Some people like him. He just went through and changed the decks and bylaws and stuff. I mean, there's been some good stuff. People that don't like him just because he's an arrogant ass. Right. You know?
Well, he's not a likable guy.
Well,
he's just not, and I don't like him at all.
No, he's not a likable guy.
Head of the Homeowners Association is always one of Hitler's kids.
That's not always true. I mean, that's the one you hear about. I got a great HOA.
Maybe that's right. That's the one you hear about.
But here, why would you hand your proxy to them? Why not? If you want to vote, you'll vote. Otherwise, it's just a non-vote.
Because people don't go to the meeting. We have 145.
Absolutely. So don't vote it. Don't vote it then. Because is it a proxy for that meeting, or is it a proxy for a year?
It was a proxy for that meeting.
Okay, so that's how he collects them.
He's done that before. He came over to my house.
That's a lot of work.
Asked me if I was going to go, if I wasn't going to go. Hey, we've done some good things. I've got good plans for the future. Can I get your proxy? He's like, I think I'm going to go to the meeting, Titus, just for the entertainment value. But
that's a lot of work that he goes out and does.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are trying to solve your problems and answer your questions and take your complaints. And we had a question for John Fuller. Uninsured motorist coverage, what is it for? It is for pain and suffering, nothing else. Pain and suffering that you would normally sue for another party. But if they don't have insurance, your insurance stands in for the pain and suffering. You can also get uninsured property damage for those cases when you don't have a car probably enough to get collision. You don't want collision, but you want to be covered if an uninsured motorist plows into you. That's uninsured property damage. So let's talk about uninsured motorist coverage for pain and suffering. I never really thought of what Tom just brought up. Tom, you wanted to know, should I up my limits? I never actually thought of that. So what were you thinking, Tom?
Well, my thought is and again, call me ignorant, but I don't know what my current coverage is, but I'm sure it's low, I would assume, or at least a state minimum. But my thought is if I could increase that, either the property or the personal injury side of it, that would help me in the event that I'm covered.
Right. Well, normally, what is it, John? When you buy uninsured motorist coverage, we didn't talk about that. What is it normally, as far as limits? Could you turn on your mic?
Sorry. Normally, Tom, the most insurance companies default to giving you the same level of coverage on as you have on liability. So if you don't really talk about it and you have minimal limits on your policy, there's a pretty good chance that your coverage is also going to be minimal or $25,000. To add to what Tom stated, the can be used for more than just pain and suffering. It can actually be used for your medical bills and stuff like that. And that's where...
Wait a minute. I didn't know that. How do you do that?
Economic and non-economic damages. Not medical bills as they're being incurred, but as the product of the whole case.
Right. Like, for example, like when you settle a pain and suffering case, you're right. You put into their economic loss of work, loss of vacation.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right.
So those are really the most important type of damages we have in our cases. So real live bills and dollars.
Can you buy more than your normal coverage?
Most carriers will require you to up your liability at the same time you up your up to a point.
Okay.
But not all of them. You want to check around and see what those requirements are. Just to kind of reiterate, property damage, if you have full coverage on your policy, then that's redundant because you already have full coverage to cover the value of your vehicle. You wouldn't need to buy the additional coverage for property.
Not if you had collision, right?
But your point earlier about having collision, that's kind of the same thing. One's just insuring it for your own loss, the other's to insure it in the case that the guy doesn't have insurance. But if you have one, you don't need the other.
Right.
That's kind of the way that works.
But on uninsured, Tom, he's saying uninsured coverage is whatever your liability is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's the answer. And by the way, do you have any other specific questions? If not,
nope, that's all I got.
Have a wonderful day. 303-713-TALK. Mike, sorry you waited so long, Mike. I'm here now. What's happening, sir? Mike.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, sir?
Tom, I'm a long-time listener and really appreciate your call.
Thank you very much. I really mean that.
I recently retired from my work, and I work for a real sleazebag. His name is Terry Reagan.
Now, why do you want to get a pound of flesh from Terry Reagan by calling me? What's happening with him?
Well, give you the worst case scenario is I worked for him on and off for 19 years.
What does he do?
He runs. He's got 8 apartment complexes here in Colorado Springs.
So you're
We've
kind
heard of this guy before, Tom.
You're kind of pissed at him.
Well, he's a criminal.
Well, listen, now be careful because really that's one of the, remember when you said opinion is protected? Well, actually when you say someone is a criminal, that's not protected. And I'm not saying he's a criminal, but you are. And I want to know, why would you call someone a criminal? I mean, that's pretty severe wording.
Well, it is.
Well, why is he a criminal in your opinion? Even though opinion, it's really not an opinion. You're either a criminal or not. Are you really saying, and I mean this, Mike, think closely, is he a criminal?
Yes.
Okay, so be ready to defend yourself on that. Tell me how he's a criminal.
Well, the best one I can tell you, Tom, is back in 2000, all the employees were handed out envelopes.
Okay.
From the main office.
And what happened? Try to tell that story quicker.
And it basically stated that due to an accounting error, we had money coming to us. And in order to collect this money, we had to go to the main office and sign for it and pick it up.
Okay, so what get to the criminal part.
Okay, so before anybody could react, here comes Terry driving around to the properties. He's got a clipboard full of envelopes with checks in them. Okay? He basically tells us... By the
way, I'm reading some articles about him in Colorado Springs and watching some TV stuff. I would call him a dirtbag, but truly, where's the criminal? You're telling me a story. He's got envelopes, okay? What did he do? Tell me the story, though. You're giving me too much detail. What did he do wrong, Mike? Right there. I want to help you. What did he do wrong?
He had us endorse these checks and hand them back to him.
Okay, but does he own the company?
Yes.
Why would he bother telling everyone you have money coming and then ask you to endorse checks back? Where did the money come from?
I'll explain.
No, don't. Just tell me, where did it come from? I don't need an explanation. Did it come from like an overpayment of something?
No, my understanding, it was from an audit by the Colorado Division of Wage.
I get it. So they probably said you have a credit coming, and then he wanted to keep it for himself, so he had you and the other worker sign it over. Is that basically
Correct.
it? Okay, I got it. It would be like you overpay. It truly should have gone in each one of those employees' accounts, probably.
Well, or we should have just got the
That's what I mean. So, Mike, other than that, what else is going on? I mean, you've been working for him for 19 years. It couldn't have been all bad. What prompted you to call today? What happened?
Well, when I left the company, they withheld over $400 out of my last check.
Why?
Saying that I owed them that from when I left his apartment complex, which I moved out of over 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then, first off...
Okay, listen. You have to understand me, Mike. I know that you just quit this place and you're pissed off. And you're probably thinking of an accumulated mass of things that have happened over the years, and you want people to know about this guy, and he owns apartments. I understand that, but really, if you can handle this, I want to tell you, what you are saying is not uncommon. There are a lot of dirtbags like that, and what I'm saying to you is some good advice. You got to move on, man. Why waste this energy unless you have something? And trust me, if you have something very specific that I can investigate where he's defrauding people right now, I will look at it. I really will. But if you just want to complain about this and that and the other thing, it's not that I'm not interested. It's that this isn't the forum. If you and I had lunch or a beer together, it would be different if I drank beer. But it would be different. We could just shoot the crap and you could tell me about this guy. But is there anything you think that would affect the greater good? Something we need to know to protect people? Because there are a lot of articles. Listen, this guy, this guy, it says, Springs woman evicted weeks after the son died in the apartment stairwell. And then another one is about 4 tenants say their apartments are toxic and the landlord refuses to respond. The other one says renters fight back against a notorious Colorado Springs landlord. I mean, nobody loves this guy. I'll tell you. I mean, I shouldn't say that. His mom probably does, but you know, he doesn't have a great reputation.
And you're right, but the thing that bothered me the most about that check incident, Tom, is
that you needed the money.
Well, and at the time I was paying over $700 a month child support, and he doesn't pay all that well to begin with. But what aggravated me the most, Tom, was when we handed him the endorsed checks back. His next thing was to hand me a W-4 form to claim a check that I didn't receive
as
on
income.
My income tax.
I hope you didn't do it.
No.
Listen.
But I'm sure a lot of them did.
If you have really something that he's doing to hurt consumers, okay, more than just a beef between you two. Oh, by the way, you need to go to the labor board about him, because I'm not sure he's allowed to offset your apartment. Those are two separate deals with your employment. And the Board of Labor really, really does listen and investigate. The other thing I want to say, Mike, I want to give you, hey, Suzanne, I want to give him a gift certificate. He's right now for the holidays. So let's give him $100 gift certificate.
Oh, from Frank Duran.
Yeah. Let's do that. Okay.
Tom, you are so awesome. You can't even that right now that changes my life.
Okay, so hold on a second, okay, Mike?
Sure.
We're going to get you a gift certificate, and we have more coming up right after this.
So I'm hoping it did go. No, he was adamant about it. Oh, you didn't mean it, I know. So, I don't know if it went out or not, but it's okay.
Adamant about not.
Oh,
You got it.
Reagan, you got it.
Oh, he's a terrible guy.
15-month-old fell through the railing.
Oh, no, he's a terrible guy. We've got several.
And now it's T-Mobile's turn. The country's third largest wireless carrier, launching a new television service in
And then 3 weeks later, he evicts his mom.
He's a Scrooge. He's a Scrooge.
Good God, I mean, worse than a Scrooge.
Who would sign a check over to him?
Next step for
Unless they
T-Mobile,
wanted the job?
general dissatisfaction.
No, that I got dumped and I didn't even cuss.
The announcement comes a month after T-Mobile and
We're proud of
Robert
you
Swift
today.
and this deal.
Yes.
I can't believe that the guy
Get laughed at by mom.
Oh,
Did he not get sued? I mean,
I'm sure he has high-powered attorneys.
or investments.
yeah, high-powered attorneys don't deal with discovery.
He falls through the railing and he evicts the mom. I mean,
He needs a good bottom feeder.
I just found out, and I'm so pissed. See, I get hooked. I get hooked on a series, and it gets canceled, and they never have an ending. You never find out
does
what
Dexter
happens.
have an ending?
I hate that.
Okay, cool.
Very much so.
There's an ending?
Don't tell me what it is. Don't tell me.
They're done now?
I love, like Breaking
seasons are
Bad.
done.
Breaking Bad had an ending. I like shows that have many seasons and have an ending and have complete stories but recurring themes. I don't want to have everything.
Well, have you watched Dexter? Are you watching it?
A couple. I love it.
It's great.
But here's the deal. I love creative TV shows, and I have a list of ones I watch, and now I'm waiting. I catch up so fast that unless they have 5 seasons, I mean, 2 seasons, in 1 season I won't do a new one.
I
don't even know
how I went that many years with Dexter being on without ever seeing it or hearing of it.
I heard it was
stumbled
brilliant.
on it.
I heard too many people tell me it's
And
brilliant.
it's like 8 seasons, and then you end up binge watching like 3 at a time.
Hey, don't tell me. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I just watched the first one. He's like a serial killer MacGyver.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante. Is what
Well,
he
yeah,
is.
he's a vigilante, but he's still
He's
not Marvel, but
he's a chief
medical or blood spatter
analyst.
for
That's
the
a
Miami
unique.
Police Department or something. So he just does some really cool shit. But he's a vigilante, and he goes around killing these really bad people that pop up in his life, and all of them deserve to die. But it just follows him through, and then some of them kind of catch on to him and want to take him out, and he's always like one step away from being busted and caught on the scene of doing something. Great series.
But he doesn't kill them nicely.
No.
I already got that from the first episode.
Nobody just gets shot or
He's like the judge. What was the name of that show? He's judge and jury, is what he is. Judge, jury, and executioner.
Now, like I watched some called the 4400. 4,400 people that were scooped off the earth and disappeared.
Just on Netflix
or suddenly returned.
Station 630 KHOW.
Is it on Netflix or?
And then what about the one?
I like clever.
Yes, that's a good. What about the one that was in? Is a really popular.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Leslie has a comment on uninsured motorists. Go ahead, Leslie. What's happening?
Well, I just had a comment on uninsured motorists. You know, back when it was no fault, I was recovering from a lumbar fusion and got rear-ended, and the doctors all said, oh, my God, you should be paralyzed, and ended up having 10 hours of spinal cord surgery down at Craig. So this will affect me for the rest of my life. Lost 65% of my left leg, lots of upper body strength and everything.
Did you sue on this?
Let me tell you. So the guy ends up having no insurance, so my insurance comes in. Well, you know, we were in the middle of raising a family, got little kids.
This is terrible.
My insurance only covered $25,000. That's what I got.
Well, hold on. So it was uninsured, and that was your limit, right?
Right. Well, that's what we had because that's all we could afford. You know, we were raising a family. Now we're retired.
But Leslie, I mean, you can't complain about the limit you put on yourself.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, make sure you have plenty of uninsured motorist coverage.
That's a good point. Did you also use your MedPay coverage?
That was back in the PIP days, and so
that
we didn't have MedPay.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
So
okay.
There was nothing else to come up.
Right.
You know, I went to a lawyer.
How are you doing now?
Well, I have to live with this the rest of my life. It's an incredible story, I could tell you, but you don't have time. And
well, you can come in. You can come in as a common woman one day if you want to come in. That would be fun. We love to get to know our listeners.
We live in Estes Park.
Oh.
God, but I would someday.
Someday, if you're going to be in town, I'll tell you what. Hold on, Suzanne.
I was on opioids for. They put me on so many.
Did you get off them?
1,000 milligrams. I got off myself. Ended up having a heart attack, basically. Anyway, it's a long story.
Well, Leslie, I hope everything is doing better, and you bring up an excellent point about limits. You know, if you limit your liability, you're also limiting what you get on that as well. If you're looking for something to do for Christmas, westbowleschurch.com. Okay, that's a church, though, West Bowles Church. They have a Christmas show that's like Broadway quality. It's the story of the birth of Christ. If you want to go, I have some free tickets. Okay? It would be fun for the family. It's a nice big church and a beautiful show. Really, I'm talking Broadway quality. December 15th, 16th, and 17th, okay? And I'll give free tickets to 3 couples. Or should they just call? Oh, no, we got to do it.
They should call that number, Tom,
the first
and
three.
yes.
The first 3 couples, 303-972-4904. And if you're not part of the first 3, maybe they'll let you in anyway. I don't know. I mean, it is a really big production. 303-972-4904. What's going on with, let's see, who's been waiting here? Oh, Rena. Rena, what's happening?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Rena, what's going on with you?
All right. Well, just to start off, I live in northeastern Colorado.
Okay.
In Morgan County. I live next to a dairy. In 2008, they were granted a permit to expand their dairy.
Okay.
And with this granting of the permit, they were asked to meet a few conditions.
Right. Okay.
To mitigate their impact onto surrounding neighbors.
Now, are they violating those conditions? Yes. Let's get to the violations. Let's get right to them. What are we will look into this. What are the violations?
Okay. Well, the most importantly, the biggest one is that we're dealing with right now is it was listed in their conditions that they must at their own expense pave a county road that runs right in front of their
And
dairy.
they did not pave it?
Correct.
How long ago was that?
In 2008.
Okay, what excuse do they give? Do you ever ask anyone?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know about this?
Yeah,
I talked to her.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't they pave it? Did you look into it, Dan, at all, or you just talked?
No. I just talked to her and got it. Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be pretty clear cut.
Right.
What else? Okay, you got paving. What else?
Okay. Well, the paving is the most.
Is that what you're calling? Is that what prompted the call?
Well, just recently, a few months ago, the county has been entertaining a notion to vacate this road.
Now, why?
Because
you mean to vacate it and do away with it, or convert it to private?
Convert it to vacate it, and then it would go back into half of it would be our property, and half of it would be the dairy's property.
Why do you care about that?
I care because
you wanted someone to take care of your driveway, basically, or your access.
No, it's a county road.
I understand that, but you want it county maintained. You don't want to take the responsibility. I'm not accusing of you of anything. That's the bottom line. You say, why should I take on this responsibility? How long would that be? How wide and long would that road be for you?
I think it was probably about a mile.
A mile of road would convert over to you?
No, okay, it would go down. It's a county road.
I know, you said that.
Half of the road would be given to us,
right?
And half would be given to the dairy.
So
it's probably about a mile long.
A mile long, and when you say half the road, you mean literally half of the width?
Literally, half of the road would be ours.
Half of the width, not the length.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So you would have a giant driveway. Is that the only road into your home?
Okay, it's not a driveway. It's
a county road. But does it go past your property, or does it dead end anywhere?
Yes, it goes past our property.
So what would they do for people? I want to look on a map. What highway road is it?
Okay. It's Morgan County Road S.
Morgan County Road F as in Frank?
No, S as in
Sam. Okay, Sierra, basically. Okay, Morgan County Road S. Okay, and what's the crossroad?
County Road 2. It runs adjacent to Highway 34.
And County Road 2. Okay.
County Road S ends in Highway 144.
All right, so bottom line, if they vacated this road, would it affect other people or just you?
It would affect other people.
In what way?
Well,
just because they'd have to drive around?
They would have to drive around.
Okay.
And at times there's been accidents on 34, and they've diverted traffic down County Road S.
Okay. So, whether they vacate a road or not, obviously, is going to be a decision they make, and they're going to ask for input and all that. Is that what you're calling about, or is it the paving of the road?
Well, no, mostly, actually what I'm calling about is that we are now going on 10 years.
Right, I get you.
This dairy being granted this permit, and not one of the conditions have been met, not one. And so I've done CORA requests, and it's become clear that on multiple occasions through the years, the county commissioners have met with the dairy and their representatives and have told them that they are responsible for paving the road.
Right.
That it is.
So who is trying to get it privatized?
The dairy. The dairy has asked for a vacation of the road.
Because they don't want to pave it.
Correct.
Okay,
so my question is that, what type of
all right, to have something converted to private use is very difficult to vacate a road. They'd have to show it's detrimental to the county to have that road, and that it would save them a ton of money not having that road. But I would think that they'd have to have everyone's approval. They can't just retroactively do that. I think that's going to be a very, very, very difficult problem, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Especially when it's listed in their USR. It's one of the conditions.
Well, you're right. I understand that, and you don't have to convince me of the importance. They're not going to vacate the road. Now, to get it paved, you can do what's called a third-party beneficiary. You can actually sue. yourself, and it's called third-party beneficiary. That means there's an agreement that exists between you, between the county and that company, and you're a beneficiary of that. You know, they didn't do it for you, but it's like when you're in a subdivision and there's an HOA rule, and the HOA rule says you have to do this, and your neighbor doesn't. It affects you adversely. Therefore, you have a right to sue even though you don't have a contract with that neighbor. That neighbor has a contract with the HOA.
Okay.
So
then I would sue the county?
You can literally, hold on, you would sue them based on the county law, or county requirement. But hold on. Al Aramis has a special he wants to tell us about. Al, what are you going to do for our listeners today? By the way, if you go to 303proauto.com, you can see whatever he does for our listeners. You click on my name, 303proauto.com. What do you got going?
Well, you know, we do all repair, service, maintenance,
of course,
vehicles that don't void factory warranty. Been doing it for years. Well, we love offering great deals for you listeners. How about just straight up? We do synthetic blend oil change. We'll do tire rotation, full inspection, check your battery charging system, top the fluids. Take $20 off, whether full synthetic or regular. So a regular oil change, $18.95 with tire rotation, with the oil change, with the display.
It's great.
Everything in there. It's a great deal.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you just go, exactly, buy yourself dinner. You have a great place that's been in business 25 years. You have the family owned and operated. They do great work, and I call them your car nanny because they not only do the work, they keep the records for you that they can print out for you if you're selling the car or doing a warranty claim somewhere. Also, you know, it's just the reminders I like. Hey, Tom, time for an oil change. These are the things that your dad or mom used to do for you. Let Al Aramis at Pro Auto Care be your nanny. At Evans and I-25, roughly, you go east and then north on Dahlia, or just south of Bowles on Santa Fe. 303-PRO-AUTO is the phone number, 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com.
Big delays on the north end of town.
Back there trying to do that on a road, there's a school bus stop. And they couldn't do it because they couldn't make it because the school bus stop. That could be, but I'll tell you, I don't think they can do it anyway.
This one they did.
They have to have approval. They can't just do it willy-nilly.
This one they didn't, and the kids
I
weren't
can't
old
find
enough.
S, I find Q,
These
R.
are old section roads, dirt section roads out in the country.
Yeah, here it is, County Road S. It goes around from 34, you go...
Where'd you find it? From 34 where?
34 goes up on, what is that, 19? And then it curves around.
Do they intersect? Give me an intersection.
County Road S and 16.
And County Road 16?
I guess it's the County Road.
It says 16. I would type MCR.
Do you see Highway 76 on your stand?
Huh?
Highway 6, yes.
Now is the best time to make your home.
The freeway goes up there, and then there's a...
Champion Windows, winter,
North Road S and what?
County Road S and 16.
sunroofs plus 60 months, low interest finance.
Oh, County Road and Morgan and Highway 16.
I typed in Fort Moore, Road S.
Every
Morgan County.
window is installed using expert.
There we go, bro. Thank you.
Oh,
they take that off. Take sure of that road too.
I don't, it's a mile somewhere here.
How do they take that?
But see, look, the County Road S goes way, so...
What are they going to vacate? Where's their house?
That's a good question.
Probably owns the whole section.
A more comfortable home, huge savings.
And that's
well, look at
probably
Empire. Look up where Empire Dairy. If you look up where Empire Dairy, do you see Empire? I don't see it.
30% off new windows, 25% off new siding and sunroofs, plus 60 months low interest financing. Don't miss the Champion Winter Wow Sale.
You see Dairy?
No, what is the name of it?
Empire Dairy.
No, even little tractor companies on there. Gary pick up a big area.
Yeah.
Live from my North Pole studio.
I thought for sure they're going to complain about the smell.
Well, that might be in it. She has several things.
So this is the whole dairy operation right there. That's a huge dairy.
It is a big dairy, yeah.
She probably owns this section over here across the road.
Right here.
They've got it quartered
This
out.
part has and it does dead end. She's full of shit. She is full of shit. It is a one-jut road, but she says it doesn't. It just serves her land and then. Right?
Yeah, but I thought you said it was County Road S, though.
It is County Road S. I'm looking at County Road S right here.
It doesn't... Well, dead ends into the...
It dead ends on that water. Where does it go? It goes to her house.
That's probably not her house.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter Arena.
Is your house on the, near the water there?
Is our house near the water?
Yeah, there's a big giant lake over there near the dairy.
Okay, yeah.
The Empire Reservoir, is that your house there at the end of County Road S?
No, our house is south of the dairy on a hill in between 4 sprinklers.
In between four, oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that one or that one. Okay, well, there's, okay. So are you, okay. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
And you have outbuildings and stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I see it. So you have to get to your house, you got to go 144, right?
We can either go down, we mostly access it down County Road 2.
County Road 2. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. You go to County Road 2. Is it Welker Farm?
No, it's Bessler's right there. I don't know if it's...
Okay, well, that's fine. There. So here's the deal. I mean, how does that even affect you if you go down Highway 2? I don't even understand where you'd be affected.
Because our property is right, that sprinkler is right across from the front of the dairy on County Road S.
Okay.
And we need this county road mostly to provide a buffer because the dairy, their encroachment, the dairy maintains that road with their own road maintainer.
Okay.
And they grade it and do their own snow removal.
Okay.
And we need the access on that road because that's the only way we can reach the back corner of our sprinkler.
I get you. I get you. Okay. Yeah. So
but
I can't believe that is Highway 34 all paved there? Yes.
Yes.
And Highway 2 paved?
No, that's the County Road 2 is a dirt road.
Why is it so important to you if they maintain it? Why do you care if it's paved?
Because of the dust.
But you had dust before that, didn't you?
Well, okay, this is a 20,000 unit dairy. There is an immense amount of traffic that goes down that road.
All right.
We have livestock, and eventually will be moving.
Let's talk about it. You can sue them based on that requirement. If it's truly a requirement and they violated it, but you'd have to show damages.
Okay. My question is
that's not a small thing. If you wrote a letter and crafted a letter the right way, an attorney, on the fact that their violation of a county law is, of a county requirement, a contract, is negatively affecting you, that's not a small thing. Don't pass that off. That is a real deal that would probably get you more action than anything else. Because it's a written requirement.
What can I do because the county is not enforcing?
I just told you what you can do. I understand that, but you either sue to make the county do it or sue the party directly. Why would you have to make noise if the county will not enforce it? The good news is you can. I know you don't want to go through the expense. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to go through the expense. That's what I'm saying. I think that a well-crafted letter and truly, I mean, you can sue on this because they are violating a contract. They are violating, and it's negatively affecting you. But you have to show the loss or the impact. It doesn't actually have to be, John, she wouldn't have to show dollars and cents, would she?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's just to enforce the agreement that was put in place.
But I think you can. Well, I know you can.
Okay.
I mean, why all the energy you're taking to go after the county to make them enforce it, then they still have to ride those people. If you go directly to Empire Dairy and say, you know what, we're enforcing it, you're allowed to do that. Or get a couple of people on the road also. And I'll bet you other people
not only has the county not enforced their permit, in 2009, they gave them $130,000 of road improvement on that road after they were supposed to already have it paid.
Well, that is an issue you need to get people worked up with because it's a good issue, but it's not something. Here's the problem. Out there, you know what? If you drop a bomb out there, you might hit a house or two maybe.
Yeah.
It's so spread out, you don't have the mass of people that can go and make a lot of noise. But I gave you that, and I think that's a real deal. Philip, what's happening?
Hey, Tom.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you a question about MedPay.
Go ahead. John will answer.
my daughter was in an accident, and I had the med pay sent from my policy to the hospital to pay our expense, our out-of-pocket expenses.
Yeah.
But it ended up happening where United Healthcare ended up claiming that was a credit, and they paid less on what they were supposed to pay and took the med pay. I just wanted to understand.
Are they allowed? It should not affect health insurance at all, should it, John?
So United Healthcare took the $5,000?
Yeah, well, I think after lots of conversations going nowhere between the hospital and United Healthcare, I found that the hospital had incorrectly coded the med pay as primary insurance. And
well, actually, it is. That's not incorrect. Med pay is supposed to be primary, and that creates a lot of headaches. Philip, we're out of town. If you want to call my office later this afternoon, I'll be happy to walk you through the whole issue.
Philip, we'll give you his number, okay? And that is John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Save all your problems for me.
Cooling temperature.
That is what is supposed to happen there. Why did he care? I mean, if it gets paid, it gets paid. Tell me why he cared.
So here's what happened.
He didn't want cash in his pocket, did he?
No, probably not. Here's what has been happening historically, okay?
Yes.
The hospitals are pot-shotting the med pay because they don't have to get repriced before they can apply that $5,000 to it.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Aurora Medical Center, MRI is $2,000, okay? They send it to United Healthcare. They'll reprice it down to $600. They're only going to get $600, but if they apply that $5,000 to the bill up front, there's no reduction. They actually collect $2,000 and $2,000 and another grand.
So what benefit? Why would United Healthcare is saying this? We're reimbursing ourselves with this.
Well, they don't have the right to do that. There's no mechanism in the statute to use it as repayment of their subrogation rights. They can't just jump in front of the hospital to do that. It is primary. It should go to the hospital or the ER or the ambulance first by statute.
How are they doing it?
Well, that's what they